is Boadu TV. Truth and integrity.
Chairman Wontumi call police me to turn no. Yes, say ochina on sambra no meto aso. And NPP we need ya. Who in the Ghana Police Service and the Dampare can call a yet guy with so Umbra Police Service, police headquarters? Who born dog? Also forest bemu. Chairman Amre, some catch them Ghana. When in Ghana today we mentioned 3 criminal lawyers. Omni credibility. Your name will not mess out. Adole, I told you, maintain your level. Brown say now you're bar. A hand time. Peja wabeti. What done it Supreme Court into your private property? Or me kufu ado achichidie way use you.
Until I don't know. I was here. Yama money na akaba Boadu TV sunye. Na wa won subscribe ye me subscribe na fa on see bell no so se de be bia tumpe. Also o sabet mi aka na wa hu de koso kana. Na Kevin Taylor na watch se senkebe ya nka ukuje to abrakwa US embassy na watom Washington krai swa onko UK na UK kura de ye se nye corruption kata che project kankan dream oh ebe kwa close mane ntra onko Europe bebi a moye bi on close no Kevin Taylor na ka on Okatakyie Afrifa mensa so se tiamra ekobasa pe se Ghana na ewo kru fufuro no so no we close Ghana, we go Ghana ewo. Ebe ha adwe internationally. Okatakyie asema okam no. Kevin Taylor do also mungu no. Na wati esi adole so osono maame. Chief Justice former suspended. Ose maame wo go. Wo twumu 10 kosoroba from kra wo ko. O ko. Ame yo confuse say Canada Japan ko gina mu. Some person 2 sureties was one. Yes, Kennedy kujinem. She. Yes, Kennedy kujinem mano. And yes, Brana Champonson 2028 was a hen. Or Baby Jinem flag bearer. Race no Jinem get.
Yes, wait. Honestly, court in there. Chairman Wontumi, me sister CID boss or you crazy lady. But what mom. But apart from what no, I bet you media me, I know what I'm talking about. The new CID boss no ono antese kan yeboa ko winseni ono petition Kennedy Afenyo kan yeboa se da funi Kennedy Japan omuko di nkwase mo Kumasi a omuko bo opimni a na o ye judge Kennedy Japan ko ha na kan yeboa se investigations na ende kan yeboa ni tiward dankwa oma ese sumi unim sumi tiward dankwa upe police ni a wa bon wo Ghana pa tiward dankwa wa bon chan bia bro fukro tumi nka Tiward dankwa a typical Ghana near otomo or tiso be otomo or otimo on 29. Hey, Fatima, you 4 bags. That is how she looks. You look at her, there's nothing about her just about me we can crack. Or to what bem nan saying wakowo Ozempic and I can the tin in a pantine. And on an Ghana. Tiward dankwa. Obetina a CID officer in Kwasi asem wanye dwume bia the same way na Kenya Boa so baye Kenya Boa di kwampo de Kenya Boa to press conference otu guys watch Roberts on Kenya Boa me am Kenya Boa waye de anopatututu no ato ase ono before we be dwuma no pa no because endra de ni wom na wato afa osu owo joint bi o no age eye de age kasapreku 2 heba freak 2 na waje krama pempem ai osefa ba ku som owi os oba tan na ho ansa na waje krama kaka dom de kakra som ono wondu office no in fifre tiro de bia how are you okotena pe was the right petition asem you be a right petition era de kan yabo no ma sia de ni di kura mpo de tan kura keke odu officer oh yes sir today we want to present us a right petition only the the right petition because Kennedy didn't bank crying ono no Kumasi one no petition wa esa so ntra so nyina manasa Kenya boa ogina wa ayese koliko enti answer na wondu office no ono wato ase wedin ka wura ba akoto heba freak 2 na de na open say last no the lemon kakra som ai oje heba freak 2 na waje kasapreku 2 na waje krama pempem 2 na waje obatan na ho 2 na ode eye de madingo kakra som ansa na osefa lime kakra ka ho Na no onum say no wia no esia obia petition. Right petition. Oh, right petition. Now no Otumi press conference can yeboa. Oya press conference na or the etuoro was watch armed robbers oh na etuoro or the akogu the office wo no obegina bontene na oya press conference no owia no ka journalist say the guns are there, go and check it. Etuoro body good now. Everybody get your well down. Can they want to be a press conference? CID boss, oh. Now, watch it armed robbers, oh. Also, what did 13, 18 ammunitions, the gun, and their weapons, and we are a packet to on it, the office, one, a good form. No bullet to Google, no about time a press conference. Yes, so we have catch police, we are doing collaboration police and patrol force, and the armed robbers have been apprehended, and we are processing them. The petition to come. Omi has to say, so where are their weapons? So go inside. It is in there. Now a two bomb on the other good. There was it. Armed robbers don't go here. Yeah, Jimmy, oh, 20 and a 20 court. Now. Debia me so tena no busa ho enti kapa wansesa anka kwa we kan machines da ho badwuma de. If they had won election 2024, how dare you call Chairman Wontumi say Umbra police CID office to answer questions? Me busa o sanka NPP we need 2024 kotra be na wa Ghana obetuma ka Chairman Wontumi, please come to the police headquarters and answer questions. Idea where I charge Chairman Wontumi no. These charges were there from 2017, 2019, but nobody had the balls to call Chairman Wontumi to come to the police headquarters to come and write a statement. For 8 years. And anytime I catch up, say, it is sometimes no say, hey, it think MPP we need ya. It think MPP we need ya. Na Juma Diana Chairman Wontumi di sense I say, eh, it think Obi betuma fresh Chairman Wontumi. And the police caution Chairman Wontumi on 3 counts related to illegal mining, scheduled to report to CID on Tuesday, May 27 at 3 p.m. for further investigations. And the Chairman Wontumi call police me to turn no. Yes, so chance on Sambra no metwaso. And can people we need ya? Who in the Ghana Police Service and the Dampare can call a yet guy with so Umbra Police Service, police headquarters? Who born dog? Chairman Wontumi statement no or try and also kagu tape so. I want to ask the CID boss. Answer me bono. Chairman Wontumi call and control the statement no. O kagu phone so me record here and I say or try and so say hu. Inti me person police CID no china o release this statement. Chairman Wontumi aba true statement yate. Or record no phone so no de ba ya and I say mɔbɔ no tape so no o kasa na later na mo be try and I say or try. Because me say me hu. Me who say kokuo bi na say oye Ashanti regional communication director di akware dim say box no me pese me bu say o Chairman Wontumi and the boga emre and oye batakari no cry say I can show this hey wo de wonim de emra betuma ye o anytime ka chen kofuo bi emra so mu a Chairman Wontumi kura hwe ago na wa also to UK a woni paper Chairman Wontumi hwe ago na wa wo police for afra a question about blackmail hey Chairman Wontumi o onu kura titi de ni ma na hwe ago na wo emre ozo koye yi o forest be mu chairman emre se me ka kire mo Ghana fo emra na enso mu on the chairman ni se ni ma twe se eye South Central su konkonte chairman emre on se chairman ni ase nyina totom chairman hu se de ekonomy odin chairman wo hu se da bi we de enya santesem na we de enya MPP fo mre o chairman wura de bo ho no ensam de busa chairman ama chairman ni watwe chairman who forest na oye show mu nyina o girigu no forest no chairman twetwe who say forest no ade no enough of intenda no wa utie eye chairman twetwe a who study the body language because chairman twetwe onye nipa bi a oye easy sa so TV so no kasa and the chairman me catch the chairman I emre no bi anim say chairman to me kasa nipa o si bia no post kraman but say hey che emra no hu wurum na so hwe mu a honorable say and a police about no offend 20 din atem into hello how are you yes we have some questions to ask you chairman to and the be catch Godfrey Dame I heard Godfrey Dame trying to pick some argument with Tadori sorry now Thaddeus sorry now Godfrey Dame Tadio, sorry, the school or the wako. On the crampon a law. Godfrey Dame like you Godfrey Dame. And your politics now I have always told you, say, you are supposed to represent people with disability. They need people like you, your voices. Godfrey Dame, what's your law? Kronunti, and then go for the Diomachi. Oh, you are going to go pick a fight with Thaddeus. Now, Thaddeus started your law. He even taught you law. You Godfrey Dame. And your politics and the Kronunti now you say, you are a media lawyer. You are the kind of lawyers who go out shopping for judges. Don't we know you people? There is an kind of lawyers. Godfrey Dame. That ben now be a lawyer. They be a catch Godfrey Dame. Only in Ghana, me say today, what you need to be doing is to stop politics, dedicate yourself to help people with disability. Speak for them. Be their voice. Be the voice of the voiceless. People with disability, they need people like you. They are brothers like you. Speak for them. You have a voice. You have learned the law. Use that law to protect them. That law now, don't waste it. Because the NPP, they have already used you. You are one of the most disrespected, denigrated, filthy blackface lawyers in Ghana. Didn't you see the nonsense you did in Ghana? In any serious country, you should be in jail. Nana Dankwa Akufo-Addo used you like a dog. You were deliberately going after people to please the Akufo-Addo. You are the worst attorney general. Gloria Akufo-Addo attorney general. What the one nine kokromoti share na sid na sid di concern na opele di nechi opele and Okatakyie Afrifa say yenyi na be hye ho. Wo be hye ho na nkwasiade political cases. Onkwa under you na a day every day be a free case or court. Jachi question opuni and ebedu atoforsin so kwasiampanyi ojuse law no ensesa. I will advise you. Sorry, Mono, they have reached their limit. Thaddeus, reach limit. When you talk about Ghana, the finest lawyers, some of the finest lawyers, you cannot bypass. Sorry. But when in Ghana today, we mentioned 3 criminal lawyers. Omni credibility. Your name will not mess out. I will advise you, Godfrey Dame, to take my advice by representing people with disability. Look at them, speak for them. You are one of them. And I love them. I will always speak for people with disability. We were in this country and a whole government took away toll booths. We thought we were going to bring a digitalized toll booth. People with disability are not the whole Ghana. They lost their job. You were the attorney general. You could not fight for them. Your job on is to speak for the people who don't have the voice. And to say people with disability because you are in that category. We are doing our best, but it is always good when people like you who are in that category speak for those people. It makes us want to help more. With all due respect, maintain obia or disability. I have to respect them and speak for them. But it is always right. And intina oba bruchre. Na omo enkramai, omo pe enkramai, omo so donate ni adesha enkramai no. Omo ye enkramai advert, omo kofe nkusie. Omo de enkramai na omo ye mɔbɔ na ye advert. Because they want you to see krameno ni situation o wom na sebi o do ho ahye sa situation na wa ma krameno sika into over America TV so ad was dogs who have been rescued, they need to be helped. They don't use elephants for that ad. They don't use rats. They use dogs who look they're deplorable, who look sick. And then a bit more related to that advertisement and contribute to that foundation. Into somebody like you, Godfrey Dame. So also with law now person law no go and help people with disability and stop the foolishness. You have left people with disability there and you are following foolish politicians. You are going to fight Thaddeus. Now Thaddeus we law now wing politics. This is a story that every single Ghanaian should pay very close attention. NPP for started BB. Now the almost started to say yempe ba umia yempe kene de Japan yepe bodam ni criminal to say brand champo the tikabe FBB for mo Jimmy brutal in Ghana today why name say Brand Champion is one of the most daring corrupt criminals in Ghana. Who doesn't know? And your Quran media have gone to dig Brand Champion from the US military. Brian Champon, the record now Ojina Sobenya position or Ghana no, it was an illegal one. At least I can speak to that fact. And to me, I have never respected Brian Champon as a legitimate human being. Or a crown for. Because when you look at his CV and during his interview, when he was questioned about his time in the US as a US military personnel, the kind of answers he gave, it does not correlate to the ewo documents. Brian Champon, no a gas boy, no boot patrol, or a reserve. Or because Ghana for say, or US intelligence, now our CIA, now no our US military more. He was in a special forces. I could be also. Brian Champon, no gawo or US military reserve. You're from every 3 weeks. No a refresher course, no boot patrol or a gawo. Now you see, the NPP, I keep telling you, it's a party where there are a lot of weak-minded people in there. Now you see, Brian Champon ready to redeem NPP. Into the Brian Champon, a fuel attendant to be our president. Brian Champon is a fuel attendant. On your momujina shell, no goil, any petrol stations or Ghana and a jobu to difference in him. Now, who in their right sense will even suggest Brian Champon to Ghanaians and say, Yama Brian Champon be president. Brian Champon led thugs. He led criminals. He led murderers. He gave them weapons. He told them to go to the Ayawaso West Wagon, a commission that has the same power as a court, a high court. After their findings, they said Brian Champon needs to be reprimanded. As I cannot hear. Me say, Ayawaso West Wagon Assembly CNA, people were shot, people were butchered. A whole commission sat down. A commission that has the same powers as the High Court. A commission sat down and did what? Did interrogation and then questioning, investigations. Brian Champon himself was called to sit in front of the commission to answer questions. At the end of the questioning and the commission's job, I'm catch the President Kufuor say, Brian Champon, jail no. That is what the commission, led by honorable judges who sat on the commission, they told the Kufuor to say, Brian Champon is a danger to our democracy. He gave weapons to criminals to shoot Ghanaians. He was behind a whole murdering spree, brutalizing, assaulting Ghanaians. Commission can say, Nane Kufuor jail akwawe. Now you say you kura nyansafo woma. And the Kufuor any NPP senke nyansafo ne di echia. Why would anybody sit in Ghana today and say a person who leads thugs, who leads criminals, who leads murderers, gives them weapons, tells them to go and attack Ghanaians? Today as I speak, Obinai Echa, because Brian Champon sent criminals, thugs, gave them guns to go shoot. This same political party is saying they see nothing wrong with this guy's actions. They see nothing wrong with what Brian Champon did. Obo ojina nipe chidi to me instructing for a whole political party that is in opposition, a whole opposition say ye hu bonibia ye pese obedi Ghana so. Now when people mo jimiana munim nyansa. You cannot get somebody who has clean record. You cannot get somebody who at the end of the day Ghanaians will see and say where they are respecting the kakra. Brian Champon to come and lead who? This is the same fool before election 2024. Now Ojina stage ka say onu onjai power mu. Kwasi ampenyi way. Everything about this guy is a lie. I'm coming to do a scam. Mumusa Brian Champon say tema port. Ni deal be na wo ho. Move Brian Champon bra. Me hear Brian Champon. Mumusa Brian Champon say tema port. Oni fremo pare. Omu deal be na ho a omu di nkofo din atoso. Move Brian Champon bra. Brian Champon. Eji Brian Champon. Brian Champon. Now we have the men, no. Now Brian Champon. Brian Champon. Time okoda a Greek ministry so. Mumusa Brian Champon say at a point in his office, no kuta $500,000 in the office. Mumusa no. Dollars. Brian Champon. Now Brian Champon only the war. Me se mo fane mra ne engina wa wa tu. Mo bodam. You are crazy. Mumbusa Brian Champo sika na ko tam no bank of Ghana no. Mumbusa no. Brian Champo. Now you people you think because about better opposition 42 years and I'm just say me di mu agro. Anything about me picture call Upper West no. Me no family some kukumi no. Mo NPP leadership no. Anything about me picture call Upper West no. Me say wa wo kan obi a wo ko obi a obewu. Some nim it's coming back. Anything na some kukumi no. Anything na some kukumi. Some ko eneja dem. Anything some kukumi no. Me say mu nyina you get it. This party is going to stay in opposition. Brian Champon should never come close to our elections. He should never come close to power again. Yama kwa power kiti bi e Ghana. Okotena radio so catch say, "Dia ye hu no ayawa so West Wagon no, preparations to election 2024. He will kill more." That was what he was implying. Okotena radio so catch say, "Oh, dia hu no kwa bo say enkwara nyoma bi. Ya body patuo, ya de kuma twetwa nipa. A member of parliament who Okotena radio so e woni krom ka say, "Oh, we dey say me hu hwe." Kwasia wo person be president. Master, some of you people, you deserve the insult because we have seen what you have done. Ekufuado lower Adena to the point to say, or Chimbia person or president. Now the down Ekufuado will lower BBA. And anybody in the NPP thinks they can be president because Ekufuado in the first place did not have the credentials to even lead a political party. And to be the fair, maybe the president. Inti ama akoto say Brian Champon obia peso be Canada Japan mu Baumia krapo peso saba back. What to make Baumia think today say he still has it and that he needs to lead the NPP and become president. Then Baumia krapo upon all the things that we have seen, upon all the damage Baumia has done to Ghana, upon the Baumia dia Ghana. Nana the dan for the lower band or NPP Gansani nimbium. We don't have real men who are intelligent with any credibility in the NPP. And the Ubu Samu said, why no credibility? Why the NPP for better my body didn't because say, hey, wait there, and when you ask them, it was only Alan Cash. And I'm catch Alan Cash to say Kevin Taylor or a mixed tribe. Ne mami and Fantini and Papa Santini. Kevin Taylor Papa and Fantini and Mami Angunini. It all to mean the NPP nim. If you say NPP no, a year addition with Jimmy Tessa Napo. And I'm going to find Napo Jimmy way by Adaya Alan Cash a mixed tribe. On Freemansia. Into a coffee this year, but I'm going this year Jimmy for buy. Into the party as we see no, and Yansa for him beam. One guy's for any to party, one and millions of the party winning. Nankane party na on a lower standard na Eden Baumia, as I done no basso lead the party. No. Ask yourself. Because Baumia himself, ask him what he has been able to achieve as a politician. Ask Baumia, what has Baumia able to achieve? One guy's a Mumbusano. He cannot tell you one thing. What has he done? 33 policies. So what has those policies done for Ghana? Baumia as a politician, as an economist, what has he achieved as a politician? And then Baumia to the Ghana say, I started this from scratch and it is yielding nothing. So Baumia has achieved nothing in his political life. He has achieved a lifetime, lying lifetime award, and the actual lies, deceit, comedy. And the Baumia can tell every single person, say, because of the munafiki instincts in him, no, he has achieved that. But when it comes to, we are talking about statesmen who have achieved something, their track record. What is Baumia's track record? Canada Japan track record, Wayne. You can tell Canada Japan Bejina TV so you bad dross. You can tell Canada Japan ECG, your man contract, or then a Eddie's cano, sa contract in a way, sa lights in a way. You can tell Canada Japan, a DNA Canada Japan, and Ghana. Condensate on it, Napo, Ewo, Eddie and Tor. $2 million. Canada Japan, not the Ghana gas or the Tor board so, or the Ghana gas board so. Condensate $2 million. Ira. Yet to Chroma, as some of the no. One as a contractor, na a NPP abamu na Canada Japan a G. You people run this country down. Anytime comes who is legitimate in the NPP to stand in front of Ghana for say, ye Jiminti, Yafa to me mau. Now no one ko ye Juma. Never to me makere Japan on the Brian Champon Kwejuma. And I'm in fact to me Emma Baumia, no niche ma to me Kwejuma. Why not ever to me man or NPP? Tell me. Why na mentam to me man or NPP mu? Because me tam to me ma ba omia or the chairman won't me neko yejuma. Me tam to me ma kere de Japan on this samia ukumo on this criminals way on the man be ejuma. Enti why na mentam to me man no? Moma me nipa foforo. Barabas no me say moma ye Yesu foforo. Na Yesu na mo de brand de bodam ni sa mo MPP Yesu na mo pesa mo de ba no. Because we have not seen Yesu Christo papa bi or MPP mo nim nyansa. Enti mo fa Yesu papa ne mreye. Now what you are showing us is a mad Yesu. Where Yesu a onim nyansa. You are crap. MPP. E chiro bi na adwene wo fom e na obetena Ghana etie MPP. Why? Ghana for. And then you bring your story here. We are uncomfortable. Please that for muntie me. Mommy ambo na enyi enchechire Ghana. Na me nuanom asantefo ni bi mo ha adwene. Nyama bi wo ha emfasuo ni so. Ende oba Ghana ha bebia almost every region obi agye to say nyoma akofom. Petrol bo akofom. So say bibia akofom akora at least o driver na o to petrol no petrol bo na akofom. Eye den na asantime mu nko a. Eba say you see the whole Ghana obi anti eye car fare so 15%. Aden na asantime mu nko a. Nyoma bi wo ha eye simple. Mo ye uncomfortable say mo bete so but mo ye uncomfortable say mo cheating kofo. And there's who do asantime mu a. Eye drivers omo ho no omonti eye car fare no so no. Lorry fare no omonti so no because omo ko petrol eye the stations a sibia no moto no andaba omia no omonto no sa biom. John Mahama aban aba me yate petrol so no omonti bo no so no omo ka che say omo ye very uncomfortable so omo te so. Na ebo na moji omo no so de mo nya comfortable say mo chiti omo because driver ni bia wonte wo bo so bia no it means say wo ye wi wo wia eye passenger ni sika because aban no epese wo ho hiha wo inti na aban no ate petrol so inti sa aban ate petrol so now we are driver ni wa santimemu na so to be petrol station na so wote so na wo say ate so no wato a ade na fa kwasia so nti ofe ne so ade nkwasia de na ya na sometimes no me nuanom Ashanti region fo ade na mo yesa ane kasa boni ma na yemo fa na say nipa bi kasa bi kire mo na yemo de eno na na ede ade a eno no sebio jimi ana say ede en oman na ye nyina ya kikire yatimam ma aban aba ama aban ati petrol so we are driver ni uko petrol station a ubu petrol na sibia na woto no 5 months ago no and then bo aba form adenti na wutu car no na obi tinemu a won pese saa nipa no wobeti ni sika no so ama no adentira wo ye beyfo na so ejimifo enti passenger bi ni driver bi ko na owo driver bi timu sika ya waye bone ana because u cheat no and there's a passenger bi and driver bi be ko na so ku driver na ana bibisi na driver no ku passenger na e why fault e wo driver no ti ebo ne so if you say yati petrol so and then anaju KMA a release statement bi ama eye asantefo a mo asanteme mu ma making kan ne brofo na PZ for enti the KMA for e dia ba bontene in kwasesem we dia odwiri wa wonti ase Kumasi Metropolitan Assembly. There's a reason time yes idea we. Mu radio station bebre wa asanteme mu no omo motete so no omo nte brofo. Enti in some rebasi omuntumi kinkan chechire mu. Enti mo amote asanteme ma mo kasa tiam no. Sebio asantema abosu mekum ato atwe because at the pa me yema mo no mu radio bebre omote asanteme mo di fufuo omo nsa ho kwan bebre no omuntumi kinkan chechire mu. Oti pizza didi Kevin Taylor atem otwe me na me be kan chechire mu nkire o me boa. Mamenki kana minjudwam. We aya asanteme mu KMA Kumasi Metropolitan Assembly omo release statement. Ewurade Yakobon. We have a gas bi achiro. Asebesi o. Now KMA for release statement PZ for muntie. Na mu bi. Mun se Kevin Taylor de wo de mwa wabo asantema no. Sebio ye po bi de na toto eye asantema hero hu a. Mo po bi de mo from Kevin Taylor, konfanochi Kevin Taylor. Because the konfanochi ye na nua bi na me ye bo asantema no. Onti ase a ohwinim. Sorry ne kura sa akohyen. Kasa no kura doso mame san fambra bio me say enda asanteman mu po bi e de na hye konfo anochi anan mo fa men hye anan mo fra me Kevin konfo anochi because the juma maye ama santiman no so opo bi de no atoto me konfo no chinkwana ejuma medi no ebetumi atoto maka mesisi bi otumfo do me no and me gina bantama na me ne otumfo stand MP na na ba wini or the 3 vote pe bantama hene pra kwapia hene na eye mampon hene na beto etia me wa santimemu a magic title no so otumfo ka se onko dia obi na obetuma contest me wa santimemu intimo ma me din foforo chanchan hene Kevin Taylor konfo no chi a otoso mienu momfa ma me na hia me momfa ma me mutungu me so santimai mutungu me so konfo no chi part 2 konfo no chi KT de konfo no chi ntuma na me ya ma mo no mumududo bebre ka konfo no chi ka brofo chechire nyome mo ankenti ha me begidwam wadwa for jibi kono na me kama asem now for immediate release yesi came for the krata bia ba me nuanom me nananom enomo mo amakodwom a mabre a mutie me ma me dwudwam na obi ante ne ho ase Jandam is dead. Implementation of new transport fares in Kumasi. Came for say your friend be implementation of new transport fares in Kumasi. Came for krata on the abano nitiri porno say a lolly kaya lolly fare you see omo de emrebia ba say lolly fare no omo kan ho asem se be oyate lolly fare so na ensem bi esisinti omo be so omo kan lolly fare no ho nsem eno ne afra no implementation of the new transport fares in Kumasi. Lolly fare efa Kumasi importem ho nsensem me nkwa na metuma sa de we ntina modome de bofro nkwan na wontie ai Nicaragua fo bodwa nana Kevin Taylor no ai pia akwa bitimi am de pia samuno mo pia na mo tiasie ma me ma mo pia no story sabunim history o adekudie ntia word pia no bae ne say tete no nana otumfo otumfo nana baako bi na odi asanteman so eye otumfo eye osetutu the first na omo ko ako na no munim say sa time no na eye je nana otumfo ne nana ona na elidi akono enti da bia wote piao ene na mekere wase no enti nyobe bu a wonima amenka asantefo bebre nim asante history enti da bia metena am say Kevin aba wo bekyerem muntie me enti da bia wote piao enti otumfo kasa na wote piao nana piao me bekyerem piao no be free bae enti onti asante amamra amenka amamre because yantinkran so yantinkran ni nyina ne say titi na sa cheyie ena ye nana asante hene eyo osetutu ne nana omko ako na sa ako ne mu odin na de ma asante eye otufo ne nana osetu the first +1 de ma ne di nkomo no pia no na mechekire mu no na omunim se eye entokwa ne mu no before entokwa ne besi no na nana otufo osetutu nana na wa negotiate for 2 pesos enti na omunim se sa na abrofo bi penasem because ono no na nani ate na otumi ene abrofo no se abrofo no amba ho ba na otatu kwan enti sa time bia ye nana osetutu nana etutu kwan no okosia abrofo okwan ba wan kan kira santeman ena otutu abrofo na no sa time no na eye de sidie ehye ntumem ena abrofo no mu hu sidie da enti ena na so no hard na abrofo no kutatuo mienu ena pistols ena ode sidie no oje pistol no but that time no na asante say abrofo ndi omo so da inti so the person de ba fia je bebu say na o say to say e den na onya person no because person no e abrofo nko inti na o say to oji 2 pesos no de shed ntumem inti intokwa de na wo kontokwa na odi akona nim no e fe no okon hene e na ode tuo no mienu ode person no e share ntumem ena okan na ntumagu so satan no ya santo mu die kire konfalot mu gro ena no okomande inti ntokwa ni mu no na enkofo no pese omu jinse omu ambushi omu but ye na asetutu no ideas ni na say inti time amanfo no ambushi asantefo no na sa time no omo duru bebi e fro no kodie na omo ya na nanom omo die ti konfo no chi omo gija omakundi agufom na ka na nanko a but satan no person no we load 88 say satan ya the bearings the gum we load gunpowder 88 Into oye din or then such shed into me say. I don't say Asante for ya chemo. Na na idino. Ya na. I said to na first to first. No I steady. And I can say obi steady. And I'm saying na den no din na nsa gu ne fuso. And ya Santo ka say nana won say gu fuso yi you won say ya bema. Into oyi inside oyi pia a person na pia. Into sa denchafo na no mutwa ho ahia no nipa 8 no say na 8 wa 16 or domina gu form. Or the 16 gu form 1 minute. Into oyi side no and a pia. And niti na ende asante hini kasa almost more pia. Na say one kasa dia wo ye no eno na ende udi so no. Into wote pia more pia. Na eye person mi enu a pia. It has come to the attention of the office of the mayor of Kumasi, Honorable Richard Ofori Ajiman Boadu, that some commercial drivers have refused to adhere to the newly approved fares. You see, letter way every Kumasi mayor ho. Or see, asam ya betone na so. Na asam na betone na so say, omo tie mu a eni pensem mu amaye no. Omo hu say, omo twi car jisika wa asantememu. Commercial drivers, trot taxis, shango, den shazi, any idea, muchika ewa asantimemu no. Mayor, asantimai mayor, a friend Honorable Richard Ofori Ajiman Boadu. Or say, aseme beton na so, nya de beton na so say, mu amuchi ka wa asantimemu amujisika no. Dia besini say, emra oman Ghana ashe. Say yati petro so obi antene boso a GPRTU for ede omun sa shakrata say driver ni bia wa santimemu bia e wo say driver bia wa be o say wote de o fair no so no o say abekton na so say driver for bebre wa santimemu a omo fa passengers na e bo no omje dada na eno ana omje okom no odwudwem o say as of May 24th as of May 24 2025 the National Leadership of Transport Union announced a 15% reduction in transport fares, which all commercial transport operators are expected to implement. On 24th May, and a GPRTU for Edekrata Beto Abontene, Eka say, Eyense, Emra, and Abeda say, Wa Uchi ka bia wo Ghana, Ujisika, Uchi commercial car, taxi, trotro, 207. Almost say, Almost de Mraba say, Oha, Eddie. Emu enchichemu edunum 15% oha enchichemu dunum no was say obi atifri eboa ojeso into say emra no ho into ontiasie say mo drivers amu asantimemu no abeto ne naso say mu dodo no say sa eboa na wo say moteso no mo mpese mo beteso. It is important to note that any commercial driver who refuses to charge the approved reduced fare commits a criminal offense punishable by the law. Mayor say, memanento asantifo ana asantimemu driver for nyina say, so we driver ni asantimemu na 15% eboa e wosa wote wo fare no so. Say want so na say obi report wa wetia emra Ghana emra ye de bo Ghana ho ban no wetia sa emra no na emra no e wo se ani wudi ma menjudwam biem. Mayor of Kumasi o say opese eto driver for bi omo asantimemu say as far as Uchika or Ghana was antimemu, so 15% na GPRTU de Emraba say Obiantin the lorry first no. Send ufa passenger. Na passenger nika say na no near to say na 15% no so tesu na wan tesu a. Or say what side driver no you bet match what the wakwashim if you say with yamra. Now yanjum. To ensure full compliance with a directive, the mayor in a meeting with head of the Motor Traffic and Transport Department, MTTD, of the Ghana Police Service in Kumasi have agreed to deploy officers to major roads in the metropolis to monitor and enforce adherence to the new fare. Osi ende ode asemu tudwa. Osi eye mayor no ono ne MTTD for impedifo nyina ehia atenase asan krata. Say efiti ocheneko omo de MTTD any police for ebegyinagina ekurom na sebio kasa edi atwentwie ekoba no ombema omoni akohu ehu se obia eje eboa ewoso oje na wo a wanje sa eboa ewoso oje no police betuma achew Uko wenima krata nasino or say, we kindly request the public's cooperation, in this endeavor as we strive to restore order and sanity on our roads. Or say, ebenu de, sebio, opeso kase, opeso kachira sentiment nyina ene emu nipa nyina se mumye nyina ka humbom na sebio emra ya da beto no yebedi so eyemu amuchika ene mu amowa passengers no mumye ka humbom na yendi mra no so sane be ya ye nyina betuma kyekyere man no na yede emra aye adwuma na obi ho enkoka nipa ne nsa hyekrata we ase no Randy Wilson ono ene ye head of urban transport KMA. Randy Wilson, editor in Sasha Krata Nasi, Emma Kumasi Metropolitan Assembly, mayor owo Kumasi honorable. Inti Kratano and in Semnon Abedahono. And there, Anna we are driving ni na uchika ewa santimemwa. 15% na MTTD. Ede mraba say ya tu petrol munti tesono ewa so teso. Sa wan teso na one passenger enye winchu ya. Sa police bar ubedem. Passengers, ana passenger bi eko report to ma police. Na yehu se webuno. One te a bonus of 15% ube to me ako jail obanyansa for yebuni be yankana sem gigim breaking news bi aba me pese me na wo ka ho asem eye osono maame somebody say osono maame ye ni interview about nyoma bi a wa ya constitution kire say I was say atoto na no constitution kire de yenye na constitution no a kire na president any council of state ye nyina ye di so enti week mu nyina no so munima osono maame anopa bia no yɛde kyina da kem ne atoto na no ɛwɔ kokoam enyimbre dia abeto dwane sɛ ɔsono maame akasa na dia ɔsono maame ka ɛwɔ interview na sini nyina no ɔse suspended chief justice claims please that for muntie me pa suspended chief justice claims she was subject to mental torture at committee hearing. Suspended chief justice claims she was subjected to mental torture at committee hearing in new suit. Pizza for assemble the modu. There's meka. Yes, Madam Tokonu, former chief justice Ayatotuna no or Nyomebia or ye no. And what tuna num two or see. A year committee na koshia omono. Or person catch Ghana for say Brony Fred be mental torture. Or say omo de Najine. Also omo di afan wurem. Say or can or see that this is so. Sibio bubusa the questions na amana bodam. Or see I say obie jane na ye gunitiri so. Or say omudi ni tiri efa mrem. Ni ho tutu no man to ayese. Ya ka say mental torture. Or say na adwene no. Sibia na sorry mo. Eye omo te committee ni so no ebusa ne nsema emu odin no. Ama na adwe aye prekesen etubia jimi. Ayese tu jimi. Wenya mental torture. Et say obi edi sebio ekuma ejina ni trimu pa ni trimu o say ama ayese wa bodam o say ayese questions ebusa no o say sibia omde questions ni puopu no above ni trimu ene e friend mental torture but am talk on say the CEO eye committee na se no amana bodam mental torture minim de omde ye no ho adan mu bia bibi so kire na ana mo ne ye eye kofini ama anase obi butu wo de na si wo ho momma mu nkyekire mu nkyere a mama me maame eno adole eye tokonu enya mental torture adai mu bia mu zepo ho ana e de na si a wo made wahu a e ma ultimate nda sisi na ni so yi enti madam every committee na se no we take a decision be na madam tokonu eteki wako court afi we me say afi we gare bo be ebe for off afi we gare ne bo be for off. Madam Tokonu free committee meeting asena yetoto na no se amana adwene bom amani tia said den sinkran de siso enti ofiri one also court oko Supreme Court on tia se oko Supreme Court enti oko Supreme Court anadwu ya wa file e se make omo kinkan. The adherence of the law has cultivated a manipulation of mental torture that has ignited the mental fortitude of the new Alliance of Human Rights Administration. The Chief Justice, on her own will as a lawyer and also as the representative of the former Chief Justices in Ghana, has acquired a suit which inaugurates the suspension of the You see, Chief Justice Getty Tokonu files additional processes at the Supreme Court alleging violation of her fundamental human rights and your rights in the ongoing impeachment proceedings against her. You see, anadwi wafre Afenyo Monfa bibi to be paso na de ekoso me hu tutu me. Into be koso ma me oto me hu tutu me hu me. Into a file additional processes. Oti ase mo amuti pizza na mo di matem no. Ade am kan wonti ase wa no se boto. Kevin Taylor be chirichirim abuofunu. Wa ma miska. Mahama na etia me ka kokiche mahama no ma miska abuofunu me ma chirichirim. An Kevin de nyabotre be chirichirim odwan. From me eye confirm no Kevin Taylor. Enti owie na obesene call eye court or say or court or catch court to say eye committee members no etietia de fa hodie so ada obi abusing na so obi abusing na madam catch say near nipa na ye make sure say nipa na kogina court obi dey say account obi dey say for wachi ana obi ato brazia my minister the fundamental human rights they have abused their fundamental human corn they have abused their fundamental human wheat they have actually abused their fundamental human sobolo. So she is going to file additional processes. Yeah, over filization. Confirm not to say over file check. Nana, over file check. Inti chechemi say Chief Justice court. Hey, Ghana nkwana Chief Justice court. Ghana nkwana Chief Justice court say no until one say. Dem be Ghana for the be almost at record. Right now no, it is only in Ghana and a Chief Justice court so until one say. Chief Justice Akoko result didn't was it. Now what wa blackmail you ba ubedem. Fefi ko tiketwa. Me say Chief Justice say on until was it. Chief Justice go court to interpretation. Now wo kwase apanyi da onya adwuma. Ah heart attack etaltaro fro. Now was akọ blackmail you obi ubedem. Eno eye no ba sure banker ubedem. Ubetumi aye de obeso bia ubedem. In the money there constant. It is only in Ghana na Chief Justice to me court. Ghana and Kwana Chief Justice to me court. It has something in answer, but I'm talking to say committee for not abusing the fundamental human rights. Sorry, fundamental human rights. Into a court to say on ten one say. Oma committee didn't you cannot resign again. Right now, you are going to walk out of the Supreme Court with nothing. Oma Afenyo marking Jimmy Way, NPP, Godfrey Dame. Godfrey Dame, who is supposed to represent people with disability in Ghana. One my small boys way Jimmy Four-way. Time I was starting law. Now in Kwasia Four-way, they were nowhere. Because of politics. One my small boys way. Very filthy politicians. You a woman. What's not Ghana? What Bobra? Resign and tell Ghanaians, you know something, the Supreme Court is not mine. If all these things happening is going to cause chaos, and I'm sorry, let the Supreme Court go. I am Tokonu. I can go and continue with my law firm. I can be I can be a consultant. You go. All the perks that comes with it, you go with it. You will still be treated as a Chief Justice who resigned honorably. What my NPP Jimmy Fowe. Afenyo marking kwasi ampenyi we ya. Or no to me kwaji obi yire na nipa no ne yire no ne girlfriend nua bema de ne kwati ato akwara we 2 years enum Afenyo marking is still following the woman. Now you are making a dirty riffraff like Afenyo marking kaka wure good tire ho lead you this way. Right now committee now starting the juma. When they decide not to go again, you are done. So go through so you are done. What could di bosumediane? You were too arrogant. You were too arrogant. Arrogance. Just one ma ahantaya didi umu. You won't so bada. You won't so judges da. Masa Ghana ni nya wodia. A politician I appoint you. If another politician comes and say they cannot work with you, if that is what you think, let it go. Say, even if the new party says they don't want to work with you, now the only say political. And I said the question, only say some people are trying to sabotage you. The Supreme Court is not for you. Let it go. And a debia wama MPP in Kwasiafo with small boys. You can give birth to some of them. And these little boys dragged you, have been dragging you in toilet, dragging you in KVIP, dragging you. Right now you have no credibility. Now who person who in the committee nika say wonya hwia. Wan na ne kwa edwuma Supreme Court. In the committee nika say wonya bibia sa kwa edwuma. Wan na won ne kwatena Supreme Court. Who are you going to work with? Can't you see you are done? Arrogance. Opeje wabeti. Wemuna wenim debia si atasho. Wona debia yama Supreme Court judge. Wona your Chief Justice. Ye who was so basa. Now you see where you have gotten yourself into. You see what you've gotten yourself into. And this is all pure politics. You allowed small boys, dirty riffraffs, criminal politicians to mislead you into this ditch. See the embarrassment. Today, a Chief Justice petitioning that your fundamental human rights have been violated. You. Adole, I told you. Adole, I told you, maintain your level. Adole, I told you, maintain your level. Maintain your level. Brownwase, now you're bar. So Brownwase and Chese, Sebio Unima dear. Oh, Brownwase and Chese, Sebio, Onya important. You are not a woman of substance. So Brownwase and Chese, Onya intelligent. Oh, Brownwase and Chese, Obiaji, Brownwase. A hand time. Peja wabeti. What done it Supreme Court into your private property? Or me kufuado achichidie way. Use you. Use the law to rape you. Made sure you had a lot of miscarriage. Using the law. Today, see where you are. Young men and women, young people are speaking in your face like a child. People are ridiculing you. We sit here and we make fun of you. All because you allowed politics to take over the little thing you were able to build. You are nothing. The history of Ghana will never remember you again. You and Atayi, you are out of our history books because of you. Arrogance. Arrogance. You are not different from the people who killed Koku Ninja. The people who killed Koku Ninja, those people, they can never be in our history. And you are going to also suffer the same fate. In 2, 3, 4 months, we will not remember you. Every time we go, Dimbi will be saying, wait. This is what you are living behind. Arrogance. Arrogance. You feel too important. You felt too important. Me see and the committee kasa wonya hwe kwa hwana no koye adwuma Supreme Court. Because right now, what me ati say obi a Supreme Court obi atan. So who are you going to work with? This is simple knowledge. You made these foolish politicians, foolish boys. Today you are talking about fundamental human rights. Somebody abusing you. You are an embarrassment. You have made people like us who supported women, who supported that women should take big positions. You knew you were saying French Nibeka, le Suisse la Zank. Why may you say afem? Oma about to me. Sometimes Oma about to me and I will. Some of you women and a man didn't say and baby in your position in this world, especially in Africa. Some of you, these women, when you get a little bit of power, the level of arrogance you show in Mema Krampo ba. Mona the younger ones struggle. You see somebody like Professor Nano Pokwajiman. She struggled to get to where she was today because of characters like you, Tokonumu. The arrogance, the posture, the way you take things personal. You want to run anybody down. You don't want to listen to anybody because arrogance. A didumu, a hand time. Into Ochina, if today, Anna Ochina, a new woman crops up, another intelligent woman, honest woman, patriotic than you, honest than you, non-partisan like you. Today, if she's brought out to be the Chief Justice, we will start thinking twice. What say chance? Millions of women. You Tokonu, you have destroyed them. You have destroyed millions of women, young Ghanaian women. You have destroyed the opportunity. There are so many of them in the Ghana Law School. They want to be judges. They want to become chief justices. What say or more? Because now we will be scared. The trauma you have put us through, one woman, the trauma you have put this nation through, make me chief justice. Today you are telling us about your alleging that violation of your fundamental. Do you know what fundamental rights are? Fundamental rights, and they say Omar Godfredame still became the Attorney General when we saw him as a criminal negotiating behind the scenes when there was a case in court. That is fundamental rights. Godfredame was stepping on people's fundamental right with his 3940 leg. That fundamental right you did not understand. That was real fundamental rights. People's fundamental rights were being taken from them, and you supervise that nonsense. Do you know what fundamental rights are? It is when you tell Ghanaians that Ghana near to Canada or person better Ghana now oye juma man mine now catch Ghana for say through the Attorney General he should be sued every week, every day. That is taking somebody's fundamental rights from them. That is what you people did to Quayson. Do you understand fundamental rights? You are enjoying all the privileges today. We need you want to say the alewa shawoto. You think we are foolish? Face them and answer the questions. You took your daughter and your husband. You spend the taxpayers' money, millions. You want us to clap for you? You are crying what? Fundamental rights. Do you know what fundamental rights are? You sat in the Supreme Court, oversaw all these things happening. People's rights were taken from them. You sat there and you were laughing because the Lilliput, that tortoise in the Jubilee House, he was entertaining you. Do you think we are stupid or we forget easily? Do you know what fundamental rights are? What you are enjoying today is not fundamental. It's nobody's stepping on fundamental rights. They are giving you a lot of privilege. They are giving you a lot of room to express yourself. You have even been given opportunity to speak back. You have been given an opportunity. Because of you, we have put together a committee. You are not supposed to even be before a committee. So you, even just getting the hearing alone, you should understand that you have been given your fundamental rights back. You have everything. What are you complaining about? What do you want us to do? We are talking about people's fundamental rights that you use that your office. You abused the whole country. The nation as a whole. We were not even able to tell who was a Ghanaian because of you. You sat in front of us and told us you don't know who a Ghanaian is. That was our fundamental right. You took it away from us. A woman, one woman. Do you know what fundamental rights are? Madam, shut up, sleep, take a shower in the morning, go and face your problems. Madam, take a shower tonight. Have some tea. Relax with your husband. Sleep, because tomorrow you are going again. Yeah. The law is the law. Face the law and defeat the law. We don't have time for crying, and you are a crybaby like your own lawyer, Goverdame. You are crying and Goverdame is crying. So who is going to save who? Your lawyer is a crybaby, and you too, you are a crybaby. So you and your lawyer, who is going to save who? Goverdame, who is your lawyer, who is supposed to represent people with disability in Ghana, he's crying. And you too, you being his client, you are also crying. So who is going to save who? Shut up and maintain your level, Adole. Apati mra. They don't have anything. This is the leader of the minority, Kasongo, Kakawuri. Afenyo makin. The message or the man NPP for oh, na say omo ba be new flag bearer, John Mahama we are new flag bearer, Tomo be chire omo. Oh, now him say omo water region cry na apathy ho nipa na mba ashanti interneti na Ghana for ye Jimmy ntie beto ma NPP. This has been their message, and this is their message. So this kind of political party, they na say our idea be or the babe boa man no, and I say obe create adwuma, and I say obe fight corruption, and these people are not ready for power. They think same way Jimmy. They still think say Ghana for have not changed. They still think say yeah Jimmy. They still don't see the reality. Into when you get a minority leader, Kasongo, 99, Kakawure MP, content creator, Afenyo Makin. No, I got a party for so oh, don't worry at all. Our party, and also they are going to Mahama has only 4 years. Now Ghana for in 2028. When we all decide to say Mahama on twaso for Ejuma Waya, then obey. In 2028, so Ghana for nyina ya tu yangu kwa street so. Ni aka say Mahama, oh Afenyo, who are you? Opama Mahama exceed what we want him to do. We would rather want a second term of Mahama than fools like you. So instead of a political party sitting down to analyze, tell the people the truth, they are counting on apathy and the party in power changing their presidential candidates. That is the party for you. Do they have a reason? The reason is that omuni a message emanipano. The party is built on lies. The party is built on tribalism. The party is built on foolishness. Right now, the NPP as a political party, they have not changed, but they are still not ready to understand and say Ghanaians have changed. How many Ghana for now who say Ghana? So many people now. How many people voted on different issues? So many people now. So it is not about you wishing the NDC to fail. It's about the people. What they see is the government doing what the people want. If the government is doing what they want and the government is making mistakes, the people wouldn't care. And him say Kufuor oetia ene to ababano. Because na Ghana there your man pe be matintin gram on who fair by the president. Ye de Kufuor compare roles as sanke because Kufuor a housemaid. But Ghana folk say oh, yen hwe Kufuor no tintin so ne wi a onom. ene ba omi agimi oye yamfa tumi ma omo but yede ma omo ye hu se enye tintin de nyansa ba ana tietere ye hu se munnim nyansa. They don't have the brains to govern. Now here yanko enim yedwedwam pizza for obiaye okay. Yes, Mr. Ekumfi and the Canada Japan ya DB. But we NPP for the GB. What else can I do? And the day see court. Accra High Court grants 10 million Ghana cedis bill with 2 sureties to Professor Emil Ekumfi in ongoing 2 million SkyTrain trial. Must surrender passport and report weekly to police. Yes, and the Accra High Court, no. At the aye sika pudio 10 million out of Professor Ekumfi so. Ni nyina afa deche SkyTrainer NPP for we yaka so moko faba ebesi ne. Sanka NPP wini yanka asem we ka bete ho asem. Da bi. If NPP had won, would you have heard about this? No. Anka Professor Amia Ekumfi beka kire mo ma se omo papa mbobra omo yankwasiafo. But ende because NPP winning Professor Amia Ekumfi and the Odi Court Akuniaba and the yadi sika to the so yaje the passport ato them yes na wotwi bia ombra no fa no ho be police. Sir Professor Ekumfi ochen atayi a na ochen se ono ate ne fie enum nsuo. Professor Amia Ekumfi se ochen atayi a the odi chen na ne se atayi wo eye prison atayi oni passport yaje atayi wo prison Menoka say atayi eye de sika da no so. Professor Frimpo Boadu che atayi na o chen se otifie na atayi wo prison. There's no difference between this man and atayi. Na there one wa say we mu nyina ne say papa we last week so owu yenja no na onfa sika bia asem no makache Ghana for say political issues are very tricky. Now the mama ni gene say Oman Ghana, we all have come to that pointer. Yabeja to me say, I was sending pebi a chiomaso. I was say Omano, ye sacre ni. I was say Omano, ye dani ni. Now at the end of the day, Ghana for a wood ye bida. And none tina Ghana for majority no, we have hope in the new John Mahama. We want John Mahama to show us something that we have not seen before in our politics. Because you see, the John Mahama first and the John Mahama second is different. People now have hope in the new John Mahama because it is looking like in some of Kanyabia and what he is doing to reset this nation, it is becoming a reality. Sometimes it looks slow, but it is important because you don't also want to say, because you want to reset the nation, you want to step on the fundamental right of people in the nation. No. And see, what we need John Mahama to do is what John Mahama is doing. We want John Mahama to take our politics to the point whereby the year who be a Ghana politics or say BC. Now you na a standard in our politics. And when you see all these things, they will tell you say the government is witch hunting. The government is abusing the power. The government is using or working within the constitution. That is why nobody has been able to come out to state one law, one clause in the constitution that the president and this government have abused. Because say a chiwo biko jina quarter, nobody's right has been abused. Say Attorney General FIL case it the law permits the Attorney General to do that. Nobody in Ghana today can say Papa way obi tietia the fan who so. That is why the Attorney General and this government has given him the right to get a lawyer. Say ya mananje amfa lawyer na say ya kan kasa bo ahye ne yem. Ya man the opportunity to also hire a lawyer to also come and defend him. Now Papa way media miyema ankose jail no wu jail or kromfo on kind of credit. Now and the Canada Japan DB 10 million Ghana cedis near the to Ekumfi so no Canada Japan and what I say Nitina I say abion and everything oguta paper yes ya den Canada Japan steps in as surety for Professor Amir Ekumfi in the SkyTrain case. Yes Ekumfi tama court ka say obi Embra no medi njinemu 10 million. Onfe japade mesia wawa na Professor Amia Ekumfi kromfo no en19 kofie nkoda na on time bra court no Canada Japan say ono na ye edien Batman. Canada Japan o play game be with NPP for makacha mo say uyi Ghana for 10 NPP for a omwom no say omye 8 a emu 7 Jimmy uyi Ghana for 10 say MPP for 8 the woman emu 7 omo Jimmy. He's playing them. When we so much Jimmy right now, no, he wants to play the hero. Now me pesa buta Kennedy Japan. One kasa we case bar obenya sureties because you are spending all your sureties now. Don't spend your money. Don't spend your investment because the sureties now was spending in there no. One kasa wo dia ba wo sureties ni nyina wo nyomo we japade do kwesi awo nyina we are sure say you will get that money to do that. Now Kennedy Japan play game B. And that was the same game Ekufuado play here in 2012, 13, 14, 15. In fact, all the way back in 2008. What they do is that they have read the MPP base. You see, hey Kennedy, and Professor Kumfi, party penyini pao. Shesa no wake dwemu. Kennedy na ade ni nkrata ni sika enyina akosi awawa. Inti Kennedy de onipa say MPP o man say mpreku, o man say nkokɔ. Anything na poka chom say omo de gele and omo pe. Any t-shirt. He is playing their minds because Jimmy. So he wants to play that messiah role. Time apart in the opposition, no. Mena meje papers ebeye surety. Mena me bedi engine muma ekunfi into Wontumi. When we say party mu do na adwene wo form. When we say Jimmy, he's playing a game with them. On him say MPP supporter there. Unhia padlock, there unhia ni gele. And suddenly, Kennedy Japan is the hero in the MPP. Oh, now but I was identifying Kennedy Japan anko endi chairman Wontumi echi anko chia chairman Wontumi e ka ye de to no so no wan fa the japade ankosi awawa every say chairman Wontumi e oba omia camp every say chairman Wontumi kro no obo no eno abi na Kennedy abo enti Kennedy Japan ehun say then he would rather go the other way and buy the sympathy from the weak-minded MPP supporters because you see MPP for Oma ese enkoko the more eburu awoto no and the more we hear sound no kokwa no more so enti sade we oye o play omo and them it say am robber bi o say obi akowia de and o de the car cross no omo create scenes we nyina amamo because he needs something to fill the media. He needs something to make the MPP base think say oh your hero. Suddenly Kennedy Japan adani hero MPP mu adanya ye kochi obi nti oso odine japade akosi awawa Kennedy Japan be so ye hero kache o mani nyina so mo form American passport in my US government no mo bra Ghana na mo be Ghana passport no mo tena Ghana ne enchechere Ghana John Mahama ne ba bia ni wakotena abrochire we make sure say the man there 90% o mo nyina te Ghana and on mo te Ghana ebub Ghana sa o person che say o do Ghana o ye hero a o ma 21 no kache o mo nyina say omo passport omo from American government no mo nyina metena Ghana no mo ne wo en starting chechere Ghana no ne ehun se mo do Ghana kwase afo mo yin Jimmy. These are the cheap politicians are MPP grumi na ye den at this point Kennedy Japan to be a presidential candidate Bawumia to be a presidential candidate MPP ne go out to the point to say Kennedy ni Bawumia and air contested to run the NPP Kennedy me kwati ye Kennedy ma economic speech because it's so about Bawumia so my economic speech. Now Kennedy ni Bawumia omo me enu one anim ade. Because we say Kennedy say dey no nya sika o say oh so no ensu economics onu buga no dey nya sika. Ubusa Bawumia so also right now he's somebody because of economics. It omo me enu one anim nyansa. Kennedy ni Bawumia who is smart. Because Kennedy Baga so already one go school is street smart. But Omia's Baga so on the school that na bedru ha anything am na be vice president. It's omumi and one enim nyansa who is omumi and who come see anima who is smart. None of them. They are playing on the MPP. Majority of the people of the MPP chino omu daft. Omu kenkan omu go school. Dodo no street they would love to work on the street than to get a little bit of knowledge. Yakase wa nko school enye school nkwa na manyansa o e wo se wo nyansa majority of MPP for no nim nyansa na meka se nyansa ne se wakotwa woto ana wakogya wo nan na sebio wo de krata pepa woto a wanfa nse wo num a wo ye de woto twene ye ene ne nyansa no and that kind of common sense mu ni bi school there say a book ya kenkan additional knowledge ne de kan ya adwene ho until you being in the classroom does not make you intelligent. Because enke nyansa and a school na ba nipa hu nyansa anka Bawumia be di Ghana so inka dollar na nkendru 18 until also automatically who say sa nyansa na bi ni wo. Now MPP majority of them no that thing called sense to sit back, put their political affiliation aside, put their tribe aside, put their hatred for people aside, and to ask serious questions. No, that fundamental thing, no, omnibi. And it's not idea Dima MPP ni pa so baka just na say. Bi de aduane isi won chan, bi de nsuo kan. Opachi MPP 45 tena dem. Momo aduane. So air conditions so. Lock na ka che say o kwaba, o momo 1 hour, o mo ndwene. Oba o mo nka de o ma dwene nkire, o mo tumi kan kire. Me say MPP 45. For good them. So air condition. So TV so. Na fe aduane si o mo nche na ka jem say, me ma mo 1 hour. The work I want you people to do is to think. Just think. Me ba explain to me what you have been thinking about. They cannot tell you. Because you see, our journey is so weaker and through that level to break that level to make journey. They can't think. Why should a party at this point be looking up to Kennedy Japan Baumia? Why? Why should the MPP also be a party of intellectuals? Today, Baumia cannot defend his own thesis. Baumia led FX committee, led economic management team. Baumia was vice president for 8 years, opposition leader for 8 years. Baumia has been in politics for 16 years in leadership. Mahamudu Baumia has led the MPP for 16 years. Kennedy Japan or the MPP for billions. Why should today? Now the question here is: see the 2 million kofo ya hwana mu no mbe ejuma. Omu kokra nipa efri Somalia na say we mua dada ya yankofo ya chema Wontumi Samia Wukumo sa ankofo ya na say omu de nipa foforo bi fri baby na eba. You see wage for so me kind same nchira mo na mdwodwom because mo MP we Jimmy. Mo MP no on na parliament obubu tables Jimmy. Mr. P, Mr. S, what's that guy's name? Akwana we using to ho no. Wage for mo MP Jimmy no. Odi Afenyo ma keji na obubu tables. Announcement about wa for the Jimmy and beka nchire mo. Me na me saba be chechiri ma chire mo. Now public announcement to omo amuti around the Wager Dam. How there? Be senka sika nka osa ban we the mame pa hu. O senka ban we mame sika o because ejuma me yama ban we no. Like it's just Jack me mom invest kwa. Just say me public announcement. Me dwudwa nsemu. Just say basically anything man for the time no. Anything obia episode na asamba me so no. Ai ejuma me ye die. All right, mama Wager Van Dam. Jimmy no. You find the same as Jerry. Wager for MP we Jimmy. Ne nan fiamfia bi na so atentam kakra o sɛ I dey say no atentam na dey na isi atwe. Into why to say Oliver Twist. Jimmy. Afenyo makaka so go table. Afenyo makaka so go hunija Jimmy o first time in parliament unim de eba. Jimmy. Now this is the announcement. We are cautioning people around the Wager Dam to move to a higher ground or to safety, especially those who have encroached on the buffer zone. And Ghana Water Company for Public Relations Officer Kasa Yefreno, Stanley Marty in Kraniba. Or say, Omude warning. So I'm going to say warning, it's an advice in the form of warning. Almost say, oh, they are cautioning. I mean, man, very subtle. Ghana Water Company for they are cautioning people are motivated around Wager. Yeah, the announcement in the trouble. The men now mentioning me foul. And send up a say, okay, Minister, me my ibo, that be. Yes, say Asamaba. Yeah, my announcement, no. Yes, more moti a Wager dam on home. More moti inside a mo bend down on our more formuno. More starting park on your manamon cotton srokakra. If you say in Siono, omu bebie. Monsua Wager assassina, assassin Ghana, Wager assassin, and he said, you consider my encroach, you can say encroach. Your man who quite say, consider ma consider makoba patate wono. And the Ghana Water Company say, Sa munyinano, mun free ho any menimu here. Na omu bebie nsuo no. Na omu bie nsuo na, ebefa nipa, ebefa nsuo. Inti mu amote ben nsuo no, a mote ewo fom no, donko nim. Mumfie no ewo wo fom a inso ni yiri a etumi wura mufie ntem no Ghana Water Company through den omo public relations officer no say mum movie munyoma ehia mo no mon starting twenko den people so momma mamo na dem saa anadwo no ebi say omo bebie nsuo no enti mu a mo ben saa sare wo nyina mun yi munyoma nkosoro most of us sit down baby and some sit down moon free dining no more baby mo am yan crime for amante eye announcement you be can in crime wager Ghana Water Company offer an announcement caution BBO Gamashi wager areas environs wager Ghana Water Company fite water rainwater wager dam bubu ashi just bua faso I don't grab say as my junior wager water bubu ashi you see just a wager water bua faso you fed bubu ashi bubu ashi edogodogodogo ebami me miniano hill people mo gamashi bibio no koroko fio etashi wager dam ebubu ashi ese wager dam no ebebu afaso ebebu atoche ebebu afaso minke water company send message ebo ekobe message one time second time message survivors encroaches gamashi bibio latobio koshi atomi ofane sabulai rainwater ebubu ashi mibio wager area environs a danger zone in quick move wa say esebodenche mo amoto amonya ntem na mkotena dan no so empepo no so esemo ara nkasamara pepo no so wager dam ebubu ashi ni nyina ne say wager dam no ebebu afaso ebubu ashi move right now very very important gamashi mini ya no min 10 mabu last story show domi show domi wa show ending domi show ni be ending me ya akwa bi tinkran is a wodenche show come end domi wa just a show ni be ending me ya negasi Negasi, you are my man, I dare for you, Negasi. I'll call you tonight, Negasi. Negasi, I'll call you. Mean call a relax symbol. Even Negasi, a call 8 tonight, a very solid information, Negasi. All right, now, Bank of Ghana Governor Dr. Johnson Esiama cautions individuals and institutions to conduct all transactions exclusively in cedis. Mamenkai Brofuni Bium. Bank of Ghana Governor Dr. Johnson Esiama cautions individuals and institutions to conduct all transactions exclusively in cedis. Now, a Juma Bank of Ghana governor we why Wamaya Betia say Addison Jimmy flat. A Juma wa bought in this 5 months and Yenya Bewuta Addison Sebio na Ojiji Susu. Sa uncle for no nam Jom Jiji Susu no so me bankers no. Addison sa onye banker. Addison only qualification bia Ojiji Susu no ni name wa na obepie Bank of Ghana because if you Juma Isiama ye na audit to Addison Juma ye ho a na te say Addison no Ojiji Susu we say o me nyina bewuta Addison Jimmy now wakasa o say omo de mra eba anase omo de futuo e de ma Ghana fo ene ankorankora moye modwuma ene sebio eye ndwumaku akese Bank of Ghana say ende Ghana memma obia emfa dollar enye transaction anase enye dwuma sika bia edi be ye dwuma o Ghana bia na e wo se eye cedis se aban hwehwem ne ebehu se oti Ghana ebia wo hotel oti Ghana ebia wo some kind of lounge oti Ghana wo company wo tonyama na se oje dollars ene na wo de transaction aban betumi achew. Bank of Ghana say we should do everything possible as much as we can to make sure say I was say Ghana na yet no ye this cedis no ene di dwuma ene na abo ama dollar na ba form yenya confidence was cedi nim na yenya enough cedi in circulation. It strengthens the city. You see, Bank of Ghana governor we and the deputies we are very smart people. Now we are going local and the issue in say dear omo yeno ema Ghana for nyina etumi access to the money and also don't feel say some people have to hoard the money because the moment you introduce too much dollar into the system, when you do transactions with dollar, it automatically hikes the prices of goods and services. Because the moment to be $100 no or expect to say adebia na nka wo say 60 Ghana no and 20 Ghana no $100 nkwane there, even though that services no it might not equate to the $100 no automatically $100 nti I will say kodru ho. Now when we are dealing with our local currency and I say our city the value Sibia Tiana, Adibia is 60 Ghana, is 60 Ghana. Adibia 40 Ghana, they're 40 Ghana. So the Bank of Ghana is trying everything possible to make sure, say, we build a confidence in our currency. The moment you are able to build that confidence, America, you're great is the confidence in the dollar. America for better market just on economy not say, but he will never tell you say the dollar no or the bema, because still as much as the currency the economy no hit a roadblocks and I say it's having some roller coaster situations, they will still not say their dollar how many confidence room. So we need to believe America currency must say are you weak. The ben out is America to America at the yen business on your da. Moto said Donald Trump at the tariffs about American dollar a week. When did you ever see an American businessman use another currency to conduct business? Pound the crown, because they know how weak. It does not matter how weak the currency is. It is the confidence that comes with the currency. It shows you, it forces the prices to stable because you don't have any option. So ura kantamanto. Nasa auto angwa 50 Ghana. Ura ayakejetia untuminto angwano $120. You have to still buy 50 Ghana. So when you are able to have that unilateral, and I said that kind of flexibility when it comes to your currency, how it circulates and how we have confidence in her. And price fluctuation intense. The reason why we have a lot of inflation in the say amount for Ghana and almost dollar business. Until we are not able to monitor prices of goods and services because some people are charging in dollars and some are charging in cedis. It becomes difficult for you to even do the comparison. So all that we need to do is make sure we stay within a system whereby our currency, we have confidence in it. In the Samiko Hotel or Takrade, near Jimmy 50 Ghana, me ba Accra, I expect to say hotel no Jimmy 120 cedis. It is not going to take me a $300 and say it's the equivalent. No. And that is the only way the Bank of Ghana at the end of the day, Bank of Ghana should to me adding about fiscal consolidation and making sure say interest rate, they can look at it well and place it where every business will be comfortable. Indeed, this is a good advice. It is not going to be a one-day thing. It is going to take us some time, but it's all about monitoring. It is all about consistency. It is all about we having the will to do it. It's Bank of Ghana. We need to make sure it becomes a policy, and then we make sure say our mind be on the problems. America did not start yesterday. It started a long time ago. In America, there was a time in America, there was a time in America, that corruption has taken over every institution. It was gradual. There was the will to make sure they weed out all those things. We have gotten a government, a president who is willing, and a government that has the goodwill to do the right thing. Let us support this. Let us push them. Let us make sure we stay within the laws. We will bring the Ghana back. Right now, the dollar is our 10.20. Meaning, by the end of the year, the dollar is going to be between 7 and 8. It's a fact. By June, July, not dollar 8. I'm telling you this. It's our dollar take it to Bank of Ghana. NPP for now we are dollars na good there mono. Man hwe ya ebedum brebi. Dollar no mo sese nyine betuma to cadet. And I say ladder. And I say betuma to Opel Ascona. Into dollar na mo wi ano egu good there wo chebi no. Mun kwa yi ni nyina from Bank of Ghana. Dollar na ma lock no chebi ahimfie no. Mo sese from Bank of Ghana. Mo wi gold akose there be wi dollars no. Se man ko sese ne ntema ebedum brebi no. Dollar no, what the top ladder pay the bit matter, and I say Ascona, and I say Omega 3, and I say Abia Ayadi, Abenwaha. This is an advice to Ghanaians. Let us Bova Kwateketwa, any aqua winter is Omeko jail. There's nothing. We can't do anything about it. Wontumi Sano, blackmail you be na police, Ediomako cyber security, no maka come one asem. Inti Bova Kwatemia meow. Quatefio. What in town that they don't go over got in town that day. So these are the facts. Let's get serious and talk about national issues. A very, very important national issues. Now, issue among Funyina Eka Wasam is got to do with the Ghana embassy in Washington D.C. And as you can see, last week we spoke extensively about Ghana embassy in Washington D.C. Dear AC. Now, I just want to set this straight. When we come here and we discuss issues that affect Ghana, and I'm talking about this platform is for national issues. We don't do petty stories. No, we don't do petty issues. yenye a man common money a year antenane mamefidabi. We will deal with issues that build a nation. We want to fix this nation. That is the main focus. And intina, you see respectable people in Kora, doctors in Penifo, everyone is glued here to watch this platform because more the news ankasa the echichirema the ama dollar na kofom the ama nipa yefa amanfo adwuma the ama yebeye kwan the ama kuku board and the yehu se amanfo di adwuma ye correct the ama Ghana for enya arehemu ewo Bank of Ghana mu. Those are the very important things that we discuss here. Into your Ghana now, your focus should be on how you can have a conversation to change the destiny of this nation. And as we can see, say, this president, this government, slowly, they're resetting now, they are really resetting. And you can see clearly, say, Ghanaians are feeling the good works of John Mahama and the NDC. And this is how a government should be. This is how a government should serve its people. The people are supposed to vote and later be confident about the voting they did or the voting they took part in. But you say, nipe bi or Ghana to say NPP for what they are seeing, they don't know what to do. All that they want to do is to distract you. Unnecessary things, banter, no, it's not going to change anything. Our focus should be on the national issue. Boga bi akofa nyoma otiemi because opeso ohu de ekọ we hu se ate nyoma so boga bi ti abrochira se bi wabo bra opeso de nyoma ba Ghana obebo adwuma ebebo ne bra we hu se and the dollar no ekọ form. Those are the people who want to be doing what, who want to be listening to this platform. And I really want Ghanaians to focus and look at the real thing. Jandam is dead. No amount of distraction can take our eye off the ball. Our eye is on the ball, and the reason why our eye is on the ball is to make sure, say, the young Ghanaian who is unemployed, the fight against corruption, the fight against illegal mining, and yet to bring Ghana back to its senses. And I'm saying, say, to bring Ghana back to where we all will be happy to live in a country where young people will get jobs. The people who have invested their money in the country, at the end of the day, between the government partnership with private sector, people's businesses will gel again. People should start smiling because a government has come that is looking at the needs of the people. So there's a difference between people doing sensationalism and trying to distract, and there's a difference between what we do. What we do is we deal with national issues. The national issues now we deal with, and I say Ghana for over 1.8 million. Those are the issues we are still dealing with. Do not take your eye off the ball, because right now, you need to also understand, be abreast of the issues or Ghana. Make sure, say, the echo should be on what you say. Make sure, say, atro, and to be, you see, atro say crew, atro NMO be to say for the Benya president here. Atro NMO be to say about Benya vice president. Atro the MPP about power. No cre and the MPP position. When we stick to the truth, the NDC will help Ghana, the NDC will stay in power for long. So this is very important. Now, say your stories be about Ghana for in Juma Wabruchri, any idea, and your personal. And the entire will be all that we want to do is we want to better the system. We want you living in America, living in the UK, living in Germany, living in any part of Europe or Asia. Say, Ghana embassy around you are, you feel happy and proud to be a Ghanaian. Because Wabruchri and our quantum. Na bibi toa, your first point of contact your embassy. Now say uni areshimo embassy na say GDA wo embassy no former aya na abrochira wo tene krampo no won hyeda enye den en hyeda enhu hu ano. And we are Ghana in America. Na onye American citizen. At the same. Now onye American citizen was I Ghana in the what happens in say asam toa na we need to aka wunsem. Inti as a Ghanaian no, these kind of things are very important. You need to be following the news, following these kind of things, because no, and now while we are Ghana near America, only American citizen, no, the embassy is your only last stop to protect you in this country. And do not underestimate it when embassies issue ba na amount for church and semuna no krebe. Don't underestimate, don't go and listen to nonsense. Listen to what will save you. Yeah, man, 65, 70, they want to know what is happening. Person who they are Ghana. Person who says, person who retire now. Person who you see hospital. That is our job here. Our job here is to educate, inform the Ghanaian who is in Ghana, also outside Ghana. And what we do is we bridge the gap between Efie4 and Abrochire4. Into adia Abrochire4 no enimu ofie no ne ya inform yomo ne ebie omani. Na adia Efie4 no enimu no Abrochire no, then we educate them on it. Into obi ha otifie oti Ghana ne ni ate onimde ekoso Abrochire chen obi a oti Abrochire. That is the job we are doing. We are bridging this. There's a gap, a vacuum be dawa, a ignorance vacuum, and it is not our fault. A nipa bi ne create ye. So oti Abrochire men dwene Ghana ho. So oti Ghana men dwene Abrochire, the nipa owa Abrochire who know. We are bridging that gap. We are making Ghanaians more aware. We are making Ghanaians more patriotic. We are making Ghanaians more of Ghanaian to understand and say omu kro mu nyama no very important to them. And yes, now what happened is today we woke up to a very wonderful news. And as usual, the wonderful news no ebeba na NDC time because you say NPP the wonderful news no NDC the NPP ebe sorry no. Thank you, sir. I'll get in touch with you. Yes, thank you. NPP for the ebe sorry dynamic mail onjare ne tunsen san no abeto nwom no kɔ. NPP ade be chine kufu anu num wi. NPP ade be chine ba omi atwa ntro. NDC aban papa ba ade be chibia no good news. Now, this is one interesting news that people are giving. Oh, Kevin Taylor, you said it. Don't give the credit to me. Let's give credit to each other for staying on this platform, listening to the truth, and sharing the truth. So I will never sit here and take a credit for this story or take credit or let my team take the credit and say, oh, Kevin Taylor, you spoke on this matter. And Ghana for Mwabruche, New York, a UK for because no, I'm not going to take credit for this. My team, they are not going to take credit for this. We are all going to take credit because at the end of the day, enemy, we being focused, listening to the fact, sharing the fact for the minister to hear, no, and then the changes number. Jandam is dead. And the reason why the NPP they are struggling is because their lies is not building anything for them. It's not yielding. It cannot cut through the truth. The NPP are struggling. Now, this is the news that we're talking about. Mr. P, Mr. S, stay with me, team. A major scandal has rocked Ghana's embassy in Washington, D.C., following revelations of an elaborate visa and passport fraud scheme allegedly orchestrated by embassy staff. The expose, spearheaded by a special audit team commissioned by Samuel Okudjato Ablakwa, with the backing of President John Dramani Mahama, has prompted swift and sweeping disciplinary actions. Now, you're sorry, say Ghana embassy asama ye kan for almost 3 years. I remember before election 2024, before election 2020, I sat on this platform. I tried to make this message go down to NPP. Mekachom say the illegality happening or illegalities happening at the Ghana embassy in Washington D.C. and the consulate in New York, it was crazy. It was on this same platform, and I'm afraid Lady Bia me interview Nekache and say a man for passport There are some people doing business. A man for data and the woman spoke on my show. She tried to do what? Tell us to say, Yemum and the jandam. Yemum and the propaganda. Yan MPP are buying. And the buying papa buyer. John Mahama Akache Okudjato Ablakwa say, investigations into the embassy activities. Now the abeto bian say, Okudjato Ablakwa or ye ambassador, or minister or foreign affairs issues, on my audit team, FBA investigations at Ghana Embassy or Washington D.C. Hamete. Now the result is clear. Yabewu dreamer ekoso, frauder ekoso. Amount for data we are handing over to people. People working at the embassy, Sebio Omuji Embassy, amount for passport and their kotunko for fee. People using the embassy to front their own personal business. I am a witness to that. So I sat here and I said I was never going to stop talking about this matter because there are millions of Ghanaians in Ghana. This is a big problem to them. And millions of Ghanaians in America. A big problem. Can you imagine, say, Obuha to West Coast. We are in the East Coast. Flying from DC to California takes you between 5 and 5 hours. And it's Ghana to London. Now, when you make that trip, Ghana Embassy go DC to make a child say, I was so free California. Now offer plane. Now oba ebe check it on your passport. Now oba say results in the way nya. You have to do what? You have to go back to California. Do you know what the distance you're talking about? But all these things were happening. So they were frustrating people. They were taking money. And my concern was that There were some people at the embassy. Some had worked there over 17 years, 22 years. What are you doing there? The moment you allow people to work in a particular environment for over 2, 3, 4, 5 years, those people become corruption. They turn into corruption because then they become too comfortable. Then they start to liaise with people outside because now they know the loopholes. And none a see Ghana embassy. Some people made billions out of our ignorance, out of our deliberate action, out of politics at NPP. They decided to allow some people to run the embassy as their own business. And the minister released a statement to say, after the audit, Omabehu said, Dreamer Eko Sunebin Sida. Intimino say, the minister, the instructions the president has given him, and say, the embassy in Washington, D.C., it should be shut down temporarily. Now, almost looking for the solution to the problem. I told the minister the last time, the solution to this problem is for him to sack 99% of the people there. Or else, the ambassador Afufra Obebano, who I don't know, that ambassador will never succeed. Say, one pamon workers no more. And God being so good, they have listened. So far, from what we know, the embassy has been shut down. The minister is saying, say, Obia Sari apply. They need to check the background of every single person. In fact, Papa no odi anima sa krono no ekoso. Today, the minister is saying, they want to transfer his docket to the Attorney General in Ghana for him to face prosecution. Let me tell you, there are so many people. And I am also going to tell the Foreign Affairs Minister, if there's any way that people here who are American citizens, who were involved in this scam or this scandal or this fraud, they should be prosecuted here and they should serve jail time. Mr. Minister, I have a lot of information I want to give you. There are people I can give you their information who were part of this scam. They have been part of this fraud for months and years. So, Mr. Minister, it should not just be that man here who is being taken home to be prosecuted. I am talking about people who also worked at the embassy. Ebimukrampo Equity Ejumano, and we know their record. They need to stand trial here. They need to be jailed. We are going to give you all the information because you see, we cannot be paying people here in America in the name of politics in T. Na Obia Betina US Ghana Embassy, DC. Na Odiska, na Oyeska. Mamika Bicho, the last ambassador, Halima Mahama, and Asane Freno. Halima, I can tell you on authority, that woman cannot even write myself. Do you know that? Nana the Danko Kufuado, ambassador no wa, and son of Mufi Power no. My friend saying Halima Mahama, and I have friends saying some woman like that. That woman was not even coming to the office. Sometimes she goes to stay in Ghana for like 5 months. Before election 2024, the woman left her post, her position. 8 months before election 2024, she left and went to Ghana and left the embassy there just like that. So this is the level of corruption. Embassy so we should not play with this. I would like to tell the ambassador, say, it should not stop here. If anybody wants to work at the embassy, people should put in the application. Background checks should be done. I would prefer that all the people who used to work at the embassy, about 80% don't come back. About 80%. A whole embassy. When you go on Google to check, they have 2.6 when it comes to reviews. And the embassy of Ghana in Washington, D.C., Oko reviews are 2.6. Technically, it's a shithole. Bronibia obe business as a nation. Our America Habiano, he or she will have to go through your embassy. Now, if your embassy has reviews of 2.6, ratings of 2.6, no business person who is intelligent. Because one, Obebusa will say, the embassy in Ghana, in America, representing the president, they are the first point of contact. You perceive from minister, from president now. And if this is the kind of ratings, 2.6, and a whole embassy in America representing Ghana, then it means that Bronibian wa obe ready to work with such a shithole. I'm using that word because no reasonable person, no reasonable businessman will walk to this embassy and say, I want to do business with Ghanaians. Because this is basically your face as a nation. This is what is Ghana. If any businessman wants to work with Ghana, this is what they see. So when they see this, it shows from even your embassy from here before they enter Ghana, you people are not serious people. So, Mr. Minister, it is very vital and important that this action you've taken, you spread it around the world. I know there's a lot of fraud happening at the UK embassy, Ghana embassy in the UK. Crazy. Germany is crazy. In fact, Ebia Ochina, we will open phone lines for Ghanaians around the world to call from different parts of the world to tell us their experiences at various embassies around the world, Ghana embassies. You'll be shocked, Mr. Minister. So, what I want to say is, Mr. Minister, it should not end here in only Washington, D.C. This should go to Europe. This should go to other places. Oko Germany, West, Oko Italy. I've been here. People have called me from Qatar. I know, they say the embassy in Dubai, they are doing a great job. That's what I have heard. I have not checked it. But over Europe, you see Spain, you see UK, the West, I say Boadu. Every single thing has been outsourced. Say toilet paper crowd UK embassy, Ghana embassy or UK, a company be there. Mr. Minister, with all due respect, enter the embassies around the world. Tomorrow we open the phone lines for Ghanaians to call. I'm for say Denmark. People are saying New York consulate. Okay? This man, he was at the New York consulate. And Matisse so Ghana. So I grant the interview. Hear what he is saying. This man, from what I heard, he also used to work with the Ghana embassy, but I think he is at the New York consulate. Tiasembia Oka. Or say, to the best of my knowledge, to the best of his knowledge, in fact, his position, he is the former consular general, New York. Inti Ghana embassy no New York no. When a former consular general. Now and the Wakasa. So him say ambassador Nankasa or Ghana ambassador or US no. A Washington DC no te. And Ghana your branch omuye juma omne your embassy Washington ye juma a New York ne wo into from consulate. It's basically no Ghana embassy wo Washington no omu substation and I say almost smaller version no and then the New York. Into omo New York no omu ye juma she omu juma omu ye na she e Washington DC Ghana embassy na say. Now this man, he's worked there. Hear what he's saying. Or say, to the best of my knowledge, I know that in Washington, what they were doing was people used to mail their parcels to the embassy, but they were charging some extra fee for people to pay before they mail the parcel back to them. Now, according to say, and at a point when I saw it, I was trying to ask that who gave approval. Now, because if you want to give some charges to anybody, it should come from the ministry. Or see, no, US, UK, New York consulate, or say at a point, they also on the say, at a point, no, now man for Eddie, passport, passport about embassy wa. Melia na embassy na sa charge omo sika omo sanfel mailing mabrak right there go omo maili omo passport every ebia California or wherever no abedu embassy no na embassy na sa charge omo say omo send sika extra money for them to mail the passport back. I believe say who apply for passport and I say o person will renew visa, the charge, everything should be included. It's a package. So if I'm sending my passport to the Ghana embassy in Washington, D.C., and I go on their website, automatically I am sending a parcel or my passport to you. So the passport coming to you and leaving your premises, I know, say, you have put everything in place. You have charged the workmanship. You have charged the passport you'll be sending to me. So whatever I see on the website should be something that I have paid for. It is $200. I know it covers the transportation of the package or my passport back to me. But you cannot tell me, say, on your website, you are charging $200. And when I bring the package to you, the return postage, and our return package, you have a return postage, you want to charge me extra money. That is extortion. They were stealing money from Ghanaians. Because, say, me file and I say me bibia, Me buy website now, I'm see, oh, visa application, visa renewal, $300. $300. Now I know, say it includes return postage. It includes a jumana mo no. Intermediate me $300 na me mail me. I will take the first cost by paying for maybe I may wanna me mail the abano. But the moment it gets into your hand, I have actually paid for everything. Why do you tell me to pay extra money? That you are, if I don't pay that extra money, you will not mail my passport to me. That is extortion. And so many people, if you put a class action together, the Ghana embassy will be paying millions because in law, no, they have extorted from so many Ghanaians. You see what happened? So this man, Okatakyie said, now Papa. So all these things are going to be checked. And Ghana let's not see this as just Ghana embassy, Washington DC. We should all come together and send the message across. Let's start taking videos. Let's start taking pictures. Let's start taking records. Let us send to the right authorities. Let them know what we are going through around the nation, around the world. Sorry. Let the people around the world, Ghana embassies, let them understand. Say they work for a government. They should not be too pompous. They should not make us feel say we are their slaves. They need to come to that conclusion or that point to say they are servants. If you work in Ghana embassy in Washington DC, you are nobody. And so we need to put that in their head because the customer service part of every embassy, it's important. So worldwide, globally, we should all be on alert. Ochna, we open the phone lines and we will make sure say Ghana for more we are seeing now be our free experience. Baby, let us know the embassy what you have gone through so that we can compile all and let the minister know. Now we pick it from there. Now things are happening. Today I was talking to my team and it was about how we are all trying to reset this nation. Now on say you can't pass a embassy wasem. The government that is a listening government with intelligent people leading it, they have decided to take action. Today we are all excited. It should not end there. Over Ghana, there's one thing happening. We also, or I would like to advise this government to also look at the media. They should look at, very importantly, the TV and radio. Very important to say this government pays close attention. I will never stand on this my platform and tell any government to shut any media house down. No. That is wrong. That is abuse of power. But I will also not allow anybody in Ghana to also use that the exclusive right to run a media house to dupe, misinform, disinform, and also steal from the nation. My checks indicate say Ghana de biya kono ebeko ye yebetumi sell smoothly. Information ena yede chichire man. Say yebetumi and making sure say information yede ba abonten no solid and genuine and good information ebetumi aboa achichire man we are. I'm advising the communications ministry. They should look into some media houses in Ghana. If you are willing to open a media house in Ghana, you should be willing to follow the rules and regulations. Me, answer a media license to run a TV station, I had to go through the process. I had to make sure my books are clean. I have to show that my company is able to pay $5,000 a month from the company account. I have to be able to prove, I have to be able to show to the American government, say, every year when I'm filing my taxes, I show in my taxes, say, my company, Loud Silence Media, we pay this amount of money to this company that my TV runs on. So if you are a media house in Ghana, the first step you need to understand is that you need to keep your books clean. I would never advise the communications minister, the foreign affairs minister, or any agency to go after any media house in Ghana just because Abayasasa power. No. But if we need to sanitize the system, we need to make sure some of the media houses are not supposed to be running. The media houses that are stealing from us, we are supposed to check them because it is looking like, say, people are taking advantage of Ghanaians too much. Our own embassy is taking advantage of us. If it wasn't the media like our platform making a lot of noise and bringing the facts out, and people will still be at these various embassies stealing from Ghanaians. So it's about time we extended this kind of education. And some of the media, they have failed Ghanaians. They are just in Ghana making money out of the people, misinforming the people, lying to the people. Their core responsibility, they have deviated or they have diverted from their core responsibility of informing the people, educating the people, and letting the people know the truth. And see, I would advise this government that they should sit up, look deep. They need to analyze the radio stations. In fact, I would speak against the government shutting down any radio station illegally. But if the government has reasons, if the government get to know that there's a radio station in Ghana, TV station, they are not paying what they have to pay. They are not going by the rules. They are not paying their taxes. The government has the right to revoke their license or shut them down. That is the only way we can sanitize the system. Do you know, say, that platform, your friend, yen.com, no? Yen.com, it belongs to foreigners. Do you know? Yen.com, it belongs to a Russian and a Ukrainian. Yen.com, yen.com. Star platform now, star blogging platform, no? They have their domain and you can see what they do in Ghana. Recently, they lied about Okatakyie Afrifa. They published stories that were not true. And they infuse these things into the system and they dissolve the system. They mess the system up. And there are so many platforms in Ghana. They don't even belong to Ghanaians. There are people with interest with their politicians, affiliation. Ghana Web like this, you can see the damage they are doing. Modern Ghana. These are platforms that Ghana, the government of the day, they need to look at. Because you see, so a government, when you fail to check the media to make sure they are in good standings, they are not corrupt. Because you see, a corrupt media can never do its job. During NPP era, no, time and NPP was no. There were so many media houses, they were locked in to do the NPP bidding because they were not following the right channel. There are so many media houses in Ghana, and bills. Taxes. They were behind. The NPP government could have shut them down, but the NPP government decided to use that as a weapon against them to make them work and do propaganda for them. Now, because we don't want to turn the media into government propaganda tools, we don't want that perception that a media house has to work in favor of a particular government because that media house has not met its obligations or what it has to pay back to the government or to the people, it has not done it. We need to make sure that we sanitize the system. So if there are media houses in Ghana, because the moment we refuse to do that, now some media houses will hide behind that and destroy the system. There are so many media houses in Ghana, they have not even paid taxes for years, 9-10 years. There are so many media houses in Ghana. During the MPP era, they decided to work against the Ghanaian person or the Ghanaians because at the end of the day, taxes so they had no option than to do the bidding of the government. So I'm pleading with this government. In fact, I'm pleading with the communications minister. They need to start doing thorough job on the media houses in Ghana. They should start from their books. We don't want a media that is corrupt. When the media is corrupt, the system is messed up. So I will plead with the communications minister. He should sit down. He should look on media. No, he should start looking into their books. He should not go after any media house illegally. What will you get when you go after a media house because, oh, this media house or your MPP affiliated? No. If you are going to go into any media house, go in legitimately and ask them to open their books. They need to just open their books. You need to know whether these media houses are paying their taxes. These media houses are following the rules because we were here and Ursula Wusu said she followed the rules. So there's nothing wrong with this government making sure they follow the rules. And I'll be one person, and I'm not going to kid with this. If this government decides to close down some media stations over some flimsy excuse, I will not agree. There should be a reason. There should be a reason. There should be a law. There should be a legitimate reason why anything like that can help. But we are sanitizing the system. We are cleaning the system. Now that we are cleaning our embassies around the world, we need to also sit back and start to clean the system. A good media will always protect the nation, not protect a political party or protect a government. It will protect a nation, meaning the interest of the people will be the interest of that media house. And in the past, majority of us, we had so much hope in GBC because we all believed to say GBC belonged to all of us. So our share was in GBC. So every time we try to protect GBC. That is how it's supposed to be. Now we have different kinds of media. So the government needs to make sure it protects the media, but it should also not allow some of the media to take advantage of the system. Because obi ton idea was swame. Na so we try to tax GRA for to be raho no more to store nim. Send obi wo bantama na so we try to taxes the Ghana Revenue Authority for to me room no makatum. Yehu restaurants bebra aban to me room no makatum adentra omuntia omo taxes. We need to set the same standards for the media. If you are willing to do media in Ghana, you should be willing to make sure you follow the rules because the government needs to benefit from you by paying your taxes, by making sure your books are clean. And that is the beginning of a very legitimate media system or environment. And this is just an advice to the Ministry of Communication. These are things, if you are resetting Ghana, these are things you need to focus on. But the minority in parliament, almost say ye bibia ye friend a strategic seminar ahead of parliamentary resumption. Oh, sorry, parliament resumption. I'm sorry. Let me take this again. Minority holds strategic seminar ahead of parliament resumption. PZ for you say ochna na parliament esa etna say na 88 no we mo I say anti bi I anase kobna fori early school omu nyina twa group picture NPP former parliament nyina nie enti so wudi matama bompa yese numbers de be doso na monkofo na mo protect omu say ye NPP before no omu nyina nie omu say kobra fori early I okoboase a school bi eyi no course school no eyi sa school omu pe obekora obi adi class wo saito eye kobra fori da be kobra fori eyi erade basa erade basa say me international school fitimi nkora abram nyankona dada b ye de froyefo ye de Queen Ejima International School and the best in Obuasi. Queen Ejima International School. Obi ofri Buasi bia na adwene Ejuma wako school a chese otum se akrede wa ben na adwene Ejuma Queen Ejima International School. Yes, ye na ho ne ko international school there papa no butu international school there. Na ne adafofo nyina wo saito. My master story no ye ko edim. Na ye nanfofo papa di nyina wo saito because ye ne no na that the school there ko ba dey pe saito for that because saito for omo no kick no. Red in the hodder. But school be afraid Erade Basa e Obuasi Erade Abasa. Obego school no be any school hall but they be they be a teacher ni me hu za teacher gina ho na nse na be Erade Basa for Erade Basa samu chance na tutu amon frɛ me meboa mo ama ya boso foforo me hu se na mon chance dan no etutu ni ade me body is revejo Erade Basa what school no Erade Basa omo enkura ni ko school because school na gasa enkura na hye bubu ntokura ni nyina ai enkura na bubu school no windows omo bubu no enti teacher dem ba ko no mo nyina hurihuru adwane ba wo ni bobo Erade Basa de wo ni bobo Erade Basa ba inter JSS on be show Erade Basa jai they be obu school windows no because they be true ones in the 100.1% ai but na say aye pa Erade Basa for nyame hira say my school die Erade Basa now when mama say Erade Basa student eno go Erade Oma say Erade Basa student no NPP former parliament nyina omu ready for omu tie NPP former parliament so omakoye meeting na omofre bi strategic meeting strategic research said PZ4 you say omako sheko kuom e na omokeka omuti abom say parliament bebie enti your agenda ya yeka etimbom say na be parliament bia Afenyo marking kasongo 99 obedi enyim no jimi no baba form kakra na de ekọ de mu ayedin enti strategic meeting nyina ne say the NDC a omo 188 ne baba bi ombo atogu so enye now Mama Chawadiebi, and when you look at our topic for the day, this is the topic. It says, I want you to take a little bit of a break. Mami and Laja Adiwi. And MP before me, Tom Quentina, Edis Adiwi Aba. Also, me and Laja, you flyer that. What if the NPP had won? Have you asked yourself that question? Have you sat down as a Ghanaian? What Nasi Busa on question say, what if NPP had won 2024 elections? That is a reality check. So you Ghana ni wa bruchi wo Ghana. Now we show me Nigeria. You need to sometimes sit back and ask yourself this question. Who a businessman? Who a student? we a senior high school student, we at tertiary school for government institutional and they won't your fees first year. We a police ni, we a soldier ni, we a obia sebi we a contractor. Okofa nyoma, obia o idea entrepreneur, obia wa uton nyoma. Busa won say it's nanka NPP we ni ya. Di nanka besi. Have you asked yourself that question? And a very important question, because the moment we fail to answer this question ourselves, that it means we as a people, we still don't see the damage NPP did to us. What if the NPP had won? Now, Menoka say, should I try when you show with chi? Neka say, hey, it's in NPP we need ya. It's in NPP we need ya. As we speak, you know, nyoma ekwaso, anka yebe huana. Would we have seen it say, Aya Ghana near TCC, Aya baby to say cocoa board, a cow in a daho. Cocaine sa yes season or pot. Anka MPP we ni ya. Anka sa cocaine siya yetchin or potty. Anka yabechiba kumpo. Busa who questions. MPP we ni ya. It inka chairman Wontumi and then ka chairman Wontumi. Anka chronone Juma we di Ghana. Anka the chairman Wontumi. Anka be friend of police station da. Senka MPP we ni ya. Eya edubuahin. National Security Operative ya Kromfo ya and the original. Would we have seen anything like that? Inti edubuahin de na all ye no. Senka MPP we ni ya. Anka de all ye no kobe no 10 times. Do you know that? National Service Scandal ya abaya gifty or worry. Yes, or yarada demi. Senka abayan sisananka MPP we ni ya. Do you think say we would have seen anything? I am showing you the danger we have been able to bring ourselves out of. Don't underestimate the MPP. Into all one obusa who say it's in MPP we need ya. In some year can see anadwi, san sama ye ken, de ye hu ende, dollar yi bebia bedru, anka ebeba bedru sana. Busa who say question no. It is anka MPP we need ya. Inti omo ye bo mu to 2020 elections. Any ayawa so west wagon. Any election 2024 ya. Ogi senka ye be bie sa ansem no so. Busa ho sa question no. Sit back. MPP we ni ya enti gabi ochire da ko. Ogi se de na anko oye no anko be jai. Senka MPP we ni ya Gofredame otumi ko jina court. Now a fan for meeting we say opese or making sure so be jail at forcing because any privilege. Oji senka MPP we ni ya anka Gofredame kwa siade na oye no. Oji senka obejai. Senka MPP we ni ya mibusa wo Oforiata Ken Oforiata. The damage he was doing. They na odi yamono. They na odi data bank eye wo Ghana no. They na omode Bank of Ghana eye no. Do you think, say, Senka NPP we need ya if NPP had won? We saw those questions. Me say, sa ECG containers, Senka NPP we need 2024. The question is, Anka Beden put you with a container bakumpaira. And these are questions we need to sit back and every day ask ourselves. We should not forget these questions. We should not. Do not underestimate what is happening. What is happening is a great leap. It's a great change. We all should be proud and support it. We should not underestimate what is happening. We came together as a people and we made decision in the history of our republic. In less than 5 months, right now we are crying. It's $1 no. It is going down too much. Sometimes you sit back. No one will say, okay, MPP Sesiano, what is their plan? Nyoma omudi ye near to Kroma. Nyoma omudi ye Ghana for Brian Champon Dinko Fuenim Ayawaso West Wagon. A boom call 47 moi. A whole commission a released white paper said another Dan Kufuado. Brian Champon needs to be reprimanded. Chenaso. Now we didn't pat them. Too many of them are Brian Champon, you deal. Nanado dan kweku for the people not to train ye. It be busawo senka NPP we ni ya. Aka you say Brian Champon adia oye no obejai. Lord come gina TV so ka kire mo so no tumi or the dibone. Lord come me betena ha a whole scandal illegal pirated diesel Lord Komemu ɔmo de bɛgyina Tema Port audio bɔkyerɛ modwin sɛ anka power ansesa saa nyoma na ɔmo yɛ o Jubilee House wɔ no jankroma akɔfa mikimel aba santinka power ansesa modwin sɛ nka saa freedom na mo enjoy ne nka mo be enjoy ana. In 2024, if NPP had won, Anka National Cathedral, no, they would still be stealing from you. Anka so-called board, Anka Kusibwati is still powerful. I know sometimes more questions. These people, these characters, in 2024, no, in Baumia Winia, Anka Samira na first lady. Samira Baumia Fulanino, 2024. Senka ye mistake ready to me ma Baumia anka Samira Baumia na ye first lady. Wonim de hia Samira Baumia entoma na bra bomu nyina entoma se obepam ntoma $30,000 efra ne priority in life no because ohun ne ho say ono oye model ohun ne ho say oye makeup artist ohun ne ho say Ghana for man no mugu kajetia no omo ye tuntum omo ye nkurasefo ono de o belong to a class. Senka 2024 Ghana for senka NPP wini ya anka napo na ya vice president napo oye energy minister hwe ende dwirima ye hu e wo energy ministry hwe e ka napo e bottle ho senka NPP win election na anka eye CJ Tokonu koda hote office. Do you think senka you would have gotten justice in anything in Ghana? Let's be real here. Anka Osroma Ame Tokonu da hote Supreme Court. Anka Cheba Fobeko Supreme Court. Anka the Judicial Secretary Beko Supreme Court. Anka eye all the people they have lined up anka make January and come move on the Supreme Court. I am asking, do you know how dangerous that could have been? We are talking about Oforiata. Hey, I have a video. Almost Oforiata again. Mami Chwa Devi. That Z Kwansma text me. Hey, Kwansma time text me and they were texting me back. Now Mami Chwa Devi. Almost Oforiata again. Almost Oforiata again. Oforiata Yare. He told me about Ghana. I have a video of Oforiata in a restaurant in America. Ken Oforiata. I'm sure I may do some time and you may be a bachelor because I am working on a bigger project. In Tiana, you may be a man for Winchrow. Ken Oforiata. Almost Ken Oforiata de Wayare or Yare. I'm sure Ken Oforiata. Maybe a restaurant and I Ken Oforiata Etimuha ADD. Maybe a video of Ken Oforiata. Almost Ken Oforiata is sick. He cannot come to Ghana. Now, OSPD, Minyan hot time. I'm sure Ken Oforiata. Look at this. Yaman boy, I'm fine because the kind of work we are doing, here says sometimes, you be keeping. I'm sure NPP we need Ken Oforiata on your he is hiding. Ken Oforiata ni, I'm sure. The bachelor restaurant, me, you call Ken Oforiata, be try the video. Ken Oforiata only, I'm sure. Ken Oforiata in America, what's why Yari? This is the restaurant. I'm showing you the restaurant. This is the restaurant. Phoenix Palace. And I'm going to Ken Oforiata. Oh. He was having dinner. And Andrew Chilowepi London. He was here. Just here he's in London. I will show you in London where he lives and what he's doing in London. And I'm going to Ken Oforiata. Now I'll have a dinner. Yeah, Onye. I didn't catch a picture and send my show video. You see Ken Oforiata? That's Ken Oforiata sitting back there. You see Ken Oforiata? That is Ken Oforiata sitting back there. That is Ken Oforiata. When I say Ken Oforiata Yare, Wontumi Nante. Mama show a video of Ken Oforiata. Ken Oforiata ni hwechiro all at one. You see Ken Oforiata back there? These people, we are monitoring them every day. They need to come home and answer questions. Ken Oforiata is not sick. He's been walking around here in the US. When I saw Yare, anytime I get OSP, say, I keep asking Ghana for me. See, Sanko Fowe, let me put this up. If the NPP had won, Huh? Because nobody at a point in time, not Ghana will be to Kasa, from the judiciary to the Flagstaff House to even government institutions. Introduce some time, I'm going to check a crack. Near Busan question say, hey, mistake I and you say, BM. Now, Busan will say, NPP, what's their plan? I'm a plan to say, John Mahama echo opposition in 2017. What did John Mahama do? John Mahama and the NDC, they sat back and allowed their work to work for them. Their work to speak for them. Into which NDC call opposition now. Yani Ghana for any NDC, NPP tonight, first years, 2017, 2018, 2019. We were still not seeing anything from the NPP. Ekufuor had told us to say, "Washo nyanko pombo into Bisi Cathedral." Time Ekufuor taking over from John Mahama on Baumia. Now there were so many senior high school blocks. They ignored it and told us to say, so we were like, okay, these people are intelligent. Let's see what they can do. One district, one factory. We did not see them build one factory from scratch. Later along the way, I'm going to say, oh, their idea was to support existing factories. Ever seen there? You know existing factories, you know. One district, one constituency, one dam. Near than what Ghana, 3 years, we had not said anything. The guys had not shown us one dam. Say, we have built one dam. We didn't see even one. Every constituency was going to get $1 million from 2017, 2018, 2019, 2020. We were still watching them. They could not point to election 2020 campaign. They could not point to one company, one factory they had built. They could not point to one regional hospital they have built. They could not point to one road that they have constructed. They could not point to one dam that they have constructed. They were able to point to a cathedral that they never promised us. And that cathedral, was it a cathedral we could see? It was a hole. We were still like these people. They came back and told us their excuse was that COVID-19, Russia-Ukraine war. So we were like, okay, we all know the suppression we're going through. You could not show us anything. So when are they actually for the past 4 years, 2017, 2020? So Ghanaians were a little bit, confused. 2020 elections, they killed about 8 people to take the elections from the people. Yanka Bibia. We thought to say, at least they will learn sense and be like, the things we could not do in the first 4 years, fast. For another 4 years, these people could not point to one e-block they have built. They could not point to one dam they had constructed. They could not point to one district that they had built from scratch. One constituency, 1 million, nobody got that money. They could not point to one single road that they came to construct. These people could not point to one regional hospital. One regional hospital. So after 2017-18, Ghanaians started watching the NDC and saying, okay, let's go back to JM. Let's go back to the NDC. Now let's look at their track record. Did they actually do something? So it was what they had done. The NDC, that is what did the magic. Ghanaians started becoming wise. Now they started using technology. They started asking questions. Enti ube na young man be at your phone. Now akwajina baby, monhwe school that way, NDC ne see. Monhwe den ekwan way, NDC ne. So then the NPP as a political party and their mentality had not changed, but they forgot that the people were changing. Thank you. They forgot to say their you see, the NPP, they themselves, they've not changed. Now, because they have not changed, they don't expect Ghanaians to change in the way we think and the way we do things. So they have always underestimated the thinking of a Ghanaian, the level of intelligence that Ghana needs him into what they do. And they say, they always see themselves, say, because they have not changed, they are still using a 4-4-2 formation. Yeah, NPP for a tribe. Yeah, Time JJ Rollins, Time Kwame Nkrumah. So Ghanaians will still not change. But what they fail to understand, and they say, technology had come in. Ghanaians wanted answers. Ghanaians were asking questions. So Ghanaians fell back and be like, let's watch John Mahama. Then see if we can consider him. But how are we going to consider John Mahama? Then that is when your past records come in. So now they started seeing the job at John Mahama and NDC. They started seeing the construction they did, the way they were sustaining the dollar. Time I don't move free power, not dollar was 3.8. How are almost free power now? Wontumi SC factories. Commander Sugar Factory more now is going to be revived again. How John Mahama and the NDC, they had built UGMC, they had built Bank of Ghana Hospital, they had built so many regional hospitals. So now Ghanaians started to see the universities they are seeing the E-blocks they built. It's so Ghanaians started asking themselves, no, there's a difference between these two political parties. And then John Mahama be attractive. And obviously, people like us and good people like myself who saw the light and started speaking truth and using facts, Ghanaians became more enlightened and they started considering and be like, no, we made a mistake in 2016. Now, the question I want to ask the NPP is simple. What are they telling us? Are they going to show us what they did? And what at all did they do when they were in power? When they were in power for 8 years, we asked them, so I'm pointed to one thing on my year, they have ever seen there. They have not been able to do it. Now, the NPP strategy is saying, their strategy now is that the NDC should make mistakes so that they can capitalize on that mistake and tell Ghanaians, say, we should not vote for NDC because they have made mistakes. The NDC obviously will make mistakes, but the NDC will serve the people. We have never had a perfect government on this planet. What we have never had on this planet is a perfect government. But there's one thing that we know. We want governments to serve. Enti sa utie NPP for na so mushia na se omo kasa. You listen to them carefully. They are just thinking say within 1 year, 2 years, 3 years, nipa 1.8 million na omo tutia NPP because of their abysmal performance, Those 1.8 million people will all change their mind because NDC have mistakes. Now NDC mistake na o complete schools, NDC mistakes na se OC factories, NDC mistakes na dollar no do 4. NDC mistakes na ejuma ohwa. Who cares about the mistakes the NDC makes? What the people will care about is NDC ejuma ben omuyeye. It is when the NPP meet and they are talking, you listen to them carefully. They don't have any message. They don't have any plan. They don't even want to tell you they have committed, they have committed crimes. They don't want to accept to say, Omaye Mobone. But what they are doing now is our campaign in say NDC any mistake. So when you listen to Afenyo marking, not only NPP for the coma, this is the message of the NPP. Our message in say NDC made mistakes. Our mistakes are near winning power.